it's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be alone, my friend. He cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself, or else nothing like success. I would rather be in hell than regret. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? No, I do. But denial, these are not my words. Tell me where am I? Most of the time, wet my face with reality and permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you?
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, people? Let's go. Dude, it is hot. What is up? What is up?
Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say.
I feel far away.
Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pain.
Dude, what is up?
After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away.
How we doing, guys? Dude, what do we got? It's Wednesday, huh?
Is what I think. I will drown in pain. Yeah.
Wednesday. Dude. It's been a good day. It's been a pretty good day today, too. I had a stress test for the heart, which was pretty good. Went well. Dude, yeah, no, it's been hot here. It's been hot. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like the heat. I do. I do like the heat, right? But it stays pretty warm late here. Like, I like the heat during the day, but it would be nice if there wasn't so much heat at night. A little less heat at night would be pretty cool. But that being said, you know, it's pretty chill. Pretty good day. Where am I at? I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm looking up what we got on tap today. All right, we're going to look at fucking We're going to look at a little bit of this Epstein stuff. Dude, this Epstein stuff is heating up, bro. And then we're also going to look at Cenk Uygur having a meltdown. We're going to look at a little bit of the... dude. And I kind of want to look at that Katie Johnson stuff too, because I noticed her today, right? She, of course, is somebody who filed a suit against Trump and with claims of him sexually assaulting her when she was like 13. And then she had a bunch of death threats and she sort of disappeared her lawsuit. There's actually a video now circulating with her that I think is pretty interesting. I've not watched the whole thing. I mean, obviously, we know there's so many victims, right? So many victims. I mean, it was like 20 years, 30 years. We're talking a lot of fucking, you know. Dude, this is a good tune. Yeah, man. Dude, this shit. See, I feel like this Epstein stuff needs to get hammered again and again and again. Okay? Because this was the first fucking little piece of information. Okay? Was Maureen Comey. This is James Comey's daughter. Okay? So yeah, this is pretty big right here, guys. Right? This is Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter. She was in the Southern District, New York, very high up prosecutor. She was working on Jeffrey Epstein's case. when he, end of life, right? You know what I'm saying? And so this is nuts because ultimately, either A, he's firing her simply because she's the daughter of James Comey, right? And, he's been floating this whole story about, Comey wrote the files, right? So he's either firing her because of who her dad is, or he's firing her because he just wants to remove the people who were prosecuting Epstein. I mean, either way, it stinks, right? And she also prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. So this is wild, okay? So that's pretty crazy, okay? That's pretty crazy that, right? That she got nixed. And in the middle of this too, now it's very strange to me about how one of the things that's kind of baffling to me in this is how Donald Trump's behavior through this whole process just makes him continually look more and more guilty, right? The man is not selling a vibe of not guilty at all. I mean, are you getting that? I'm definitely getting that. I mean, he's, saying these insane fucking things about like, oh, Epstein is boring. Today he had a crazy tweet, right? Let's go look at the what did he fucking write today, man? Dude, what did he fight today, dude? Look at, what is it? Where is it? And yeah, no, it's true. It's true, right? If they fire her and she says anything that she's like starting to get even, etc. But what did he say right here? Dude, he is folding. This guy is freaking out. He's working on the important shit like Coca-Cola, right? All right, we already saw that one. Dude, I know the word salad from this guy. Dude, Truth Social, he bangs out these long ones too. Hold on, let me find. Dude, he is such a clown, bro. The swollen ankles, painted hand. Dude, something's up with him, bro. That's about the judge he nominated. This is about fucking Gavin Newsom, of course. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Gavin Newsom has been living rent-free in his head, right? And that is real fucking problematic. Hold on. He is definitely unhinged. Dude, he is like very, very unhinged. All right, let's see what we got here. Used to follow them? Used to follow who? Comey can say more. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really, obviously we know, here's what we know. we know that there are big names in both parties, okay? Because neither of these parties has rushed to put this shit out there, okay? You know what I mean? Neither of the parties have fucking spent a lot of time deeply investigating this shit, okay? Now they have info, right? They have a lot of info. I mean, they had enough to put Ghislaine Maxwell in prison for 20 fucking years, okay? Which is significant, okay? That is not a small prison sentence. That there was plenty of evidence. They have plenty of fucking evidence, right? But so is this the one where he talks about his past supporters? Is it in here? Where he berates them? Dude, I'm getting lost here. I'm just lost. Too much content, bro. Yeah, here it is. So it was this section here, right, where he says scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at, right? You know what I'm saying? It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, no good at picking winning candidates, yada, yada, yada. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Like, he's really mad that the Democrats actually have a, like, well-defined caucus, right? He gets so pissed about that. But their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. Now, I'm really intrigued what he means there by past supporters, right? I know we read this tweet yesterday, but I feel like as he like goes down this rabbit hole, he's insinuating that that people, anyone who questions him on Epstein, right, is like no longer a supporter, right? Exactly. Disowning, right? He's kind of drawing a line in the sand and being like, wow, if you don't call this a hoax, if you don't like back me, you are no longer like on the team, which is pretty wild, because it seems like he's trying to bully his way into, you know, this being accepted as a hoax. But the reality is this is never going to be accepted as a hoax. I mean, I believe people will still support him even if they see the video footage, but this is not going to go away as like a hoax, right? There's no way that people are going to just swipe this under the rug like they did, you know, the Russian, you know, investigation, the Mueller investigation, which hampered from the fact that Mueller didn't want to look partisan, even though they had plenty of effort there. And yeah, I'm sure he's talking about some of the rhinos and some of the, certainly there are some influencers that are kind of starting to break ranks. I mean, one thing I noticed today that you may not have noticed was 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗀. Okay, now again, I don't trust these guys. Okay, I don't trust 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗀. I don't trust fucking Joe Rogan. Okay, I don't trust these like influencer sort of like manosphere inso things. Title says relling. Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah, no, I can fix that. Thank you, Jenny. There we go. There we go, baby. There we go. Fixed, baby. Thank you. So I don't trust these manosphere guys because I always feel like they're just playing into whatever they think is like the safe public opinion, right? Like if a lot of their audience is talking about the you know, the Epstein, they're going to be like, why isn't he releasing Epstein? Okay. But But the 𝗙𝗪𝗏 thing was, I thought, slightly significant. Let me see. I think I saved this. I think I bookmarked some of this shit. Yeah, this one right here. All right, look at this. This right here, dude. So look at this. It says a video is going viral showing J.D. Vance calling for the full Epstein list to be released on 𝗙𝗪𝗏's podcast. Hey, J.D. Vance, what changed? Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch this thing. Dude, clickbaiting bastards. Who's clickbaiting you? Right? Who's clickbaiting you? You getting clickbaited? Hang in there, buddy. You'll be all right.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
See, all right, so there we go. We need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing. But as you could see with 𝗙𝗪𝗏, he's saying, yeah, what changed? Okay, so that right there is a little bit of a shift. Again, I don't trust these guys. These guys are obviously, it's a lot of engagement by saying this because he knows MAGA is perturbed by this. He knows a lot of people are calling for this. So this is about the safest type of challenge that these guys can muster. However, there's that trust, okay? There is that trust where prior to this, okay, prior to this episode, prior to this Epstein sort of like chaos brewing, Trump had this sort of free pass as being the truth teller. I mean, first off, this is like to me, this shit is like fucking brutal that Donald Trump got viewed. The fact that Donald Trump was viewed as a truth teller or authentic is super problematic. Okay. I don't know how that happened. That is a failure of our mainstream media. That is a failure of these independent media, the manosphere people that like whitewashed him, sanewashed him. Every reporter that went to his rally and Trump was unhinged, and then they would say, oh, Trump's really coming around. Trump is more authentic than Kamala Harris. It was a consistent like tone that was used throughout the campaign, was that Kamala was fake and inauthentic and stilted, and Trump was like accessible and raw and honest. Okay, like Trump is going to just tell you how he feels. But I mean, the fact that he got regarded as being a man of authenticity or a man of genuine, nature at all is severely fucking problematic. It's just a huge failure. However, that's starting to kind of fade. You know what I'm saying? That shit is starting to crumble a little bit. It is, dude. That shit is definitely starting to crumble. Because now they know that they're lying. They know that they are lying on some level. They know somebody's lying. They know a cover-up is going on. They know that there's hedging going on. And no matter what, it doesn't matter if they believe Trump is on that list or if they believe that he's covering for other big names, because it's almost, guys, you ready for this? Get ready for this. I'm going to throw out a hot take that I think is accurate. I think it's even worse for Trump if he is not on the list. Okay? If he's on the list, they will probably find a way to excuse it. But if he's not on the list, that means he's covering for the establishment. If he is not on the list and he's not being transparent, he's one of the deep state guys. He is covering for the deep state guys, which is even worse than if he's on it for MAGA. I mean, not for a normal human being. I'm talking about for his reputation with his people, right? If he's not on it, he's covering for them. And that is like just devastating for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, like, he doesn't have a good path, man. He doesn't. But I definitely think he's on it. You know? And I mean, let's look at this question here, can we? Can we look at this question? Somebody asks him, did Pam Bondi say you were on the list, right? This is pretty wild, right? Dude, yeah, I mean, Republicans have, as far as I've been alive, guys, and this is part of the reason why, I would never have been a Republican, right? Can I just tell you, as somebody who's been around since the 70s, here's the thing about Republicans, guys, and this is why I would never fucking commingle with that side, is in the course of the campaigns that I've seen, many of them over my 55 years on this planet, there's a lot of doublespeak in politics, and there is a lot of like narrative of truth by omission, okay? And every side does that. Democrats do that, independents do it, Bernie Sanders does it, Republicans do it, where they leave out the information that doesn't support their narrative, okay? It's a type of like, not necessarily dishonesty. It is a sort of like building a narrative, and you omit things, okay? Everybody engages in that type of lying, if you will. But the Republicans will like flat out make shit up, and they have the whole time, making up completely false narratives, outright lies, absolute smears that have no basis in truth, and they would advertise them and push them, and even after they get caught lying, they still double down on this. And they've done that the whole time that I've been growing up. Like literally just straight fucking lying, you know, with like the Swift voting and you know, any type of controversy they could play up, the welfare queen shit that Reagan did. I mean, just straight fucking lying. And to me, that has always been a type of degeneracy that I've never wanted to have anything to do with. And the irony, of course, is that they do that stuff and they simultaneously proselytize to you about your morality, okay? They lie, like straight up lies, things completely unfounded, double and triple down, and then at the end of it all, they tell you that you're not moral. And I'm like, bro, fuck you. I mean, I don't like people who lie to begin with. It's a character trait that I'm not a fan of. But when they double down with then, you know, questioning your morality, like that shit is just not fucking cool with me at all. Okay, so let me find this Trump. This video here where somebody actually asks him. Let me see if I can find it. Was it this one? It was at the press conference yesterday. Bro, all right, we got to go hunting for it. Oh my God, dude, look at this shit, dude. So we got to look at this too, because Benny is the point man for the Trump spin. Okay. So Benny is point man for the Trump spin. Let me find the fucking video that I'm looking for. Dude, Benny Johnson, what a degenerate, bro. Yeah, I know, Renee. The welfare queen shit was bullshit. That was just a racist trope that Ronald Reagan created. Oh my God, dude. This guy, Scott Pressler, Jesus. What a fucking hoser, bro. All right, let me fucking find this. Here it is. I found it. I knew I remembered that phrase. So look at this, right? Where she says, did Bondi tell you your name appeared in the Epstein files? Now, let's look at his reaction here. Okay, this is a pretty good fucking question right there. And again, there's a thing, if you guys, I don't know how familiar you are with journalism and shit, but there's a thing called a non-denial denial, okay? A non-denial denial is when they try to deny something by not simply saying no, right? Did Bondi tell you your name appeared in the Epstein files? No, she did not. Of course she did not. My name is not in those files. That would be a denial. I can unequivocally say that my name does not appear anywhere in there. Dude, yeah, no, we're going to look at some of this, but this is crazy. All right, you ready? Let's go.
The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What? On the
DOJ and FBI
on what?
review.
On what subject?
Epstein. Okay. On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden we went through years of that.
The Biden information, was he about to say? He was almost going to say information instead of administration.
With the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
On Texas, how many more seats?
Dude, I want to watch that again. See, one of the things that's really interesting about this too, right, is notice how many times he asked her, like, what's the question? What are you asking about? On what subject? He kept like delaying the answering of the asking of the question, right? Oh, what topic is this? What are we talking about again? Oh, Epstein. Oh, I forgot about that. Is that even a thing? Like, dude. Oh, and yeah, man, dude. Caroline Leavitt. She did not look comfortable, bro. She looks very uncomfortable. She's just like. No smiles, right? No smiles. No, like, she kind of tries to force a smile there at the end.
The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What? On the
DOJ and FBI
on what?
review.
On what subject?
Epstein. Okay. On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey.
In terms of the credibility, right? The credibility fucking of, you know what I mean? right, the credibility.
Were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
On Texas, how many?
See that right there? Whatever she thinks is credible, and I mean, so we're sort of like we are seeing. I mean, we're seeing the groundwork. He is upset, and they're remaining very tight-lipped, very sort of like deflecting. Caroline's uncomfortable, but we've noticed that there's a couple of things. They're promising some more information coming, but then they're centering all the talk around the credibility, right? He's like, anything that's credible should be released. And we all know that word credible is really mostly about anything that doesn't have him in it. Right? Anything that has Democrats in it is credible, right? And anything that doesn't is not. But yeah, man, like Caroline Leavitt is like, she is fucking pretty stoic. And in fact, she kind of focuses her attention on him, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? The whole time, she just stays focused on him for the most part, right? And kind of like does a little paper smile there at the end. That's pretty fucking wild, dude. Dude, what a great question though. Did Bondi tell you your name appeared in it? Right? It's going to be interesting to see what happens. See, what I don't want, guys, is I don't want this to fucking disappear. Okay? We don't want it to disappear. We want the sound of this to be like louder and louder and louder and louder. Has JD Vance actually commented on this? Has he maintained fucking has he been tight-lipped? Or has he actually made a comment? Dude, Shady Vance? He's got to be ecstatic in private. I mean, dude, it's a win-win for him, right? Because even if something goes on, that just gives him the presidency. But he has not made any fucking statement, has he? Not a single fucking statement. Yeah, no, I saw the one there. But yeah, no, he's just sticking to the immigration, sticking to the replacement theory. All right. Oh, Lordy. All right, so now, to get back to the juice of the day, so Maureen Comey has been fired, okay? And this is actually a pretty big deal, okay? And so they have removed James Comey's daughter, all right? Now, she was the prosecutor, right? She was on the prosecutor who prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy Combs, okay? So this is fucking really intriguing here because, again, it's just making him look more and more fucking more and more guilty. And yeah, I know it's an attempt to discredit like info releasing, but this is fucking wild. Here, we should listen to this. It's like, I mean, dude, like I said, everything they're doing is making it seem Is this the BTC video, Bradshaw? You put that there. Is that what he's talking about? Is he talking about Comey being fired? I know, that's it. He's making it worse for himself. Okay? He is absolutely making it worse for himself. That's what's so crazy about this. He is not every step of the way. He's just looking more and more guilty, which is crazy. Right? It's crazy. Like, he's not helping make this thing go away at all. Right?
Determination said
Dude. Oh, it's another prosecutor on the Brian Tyler Cohen thing? All right, we'll look at that.
has just been fired from her job as federal prosecutor in Manhattan. Comey has just been fired from her job as federal prosecutor in Manhattan, a position she's held for nearly a decade.
10 years,
is known
man.
for prosecuting someone you might have heard of, that guy, Jeffrey Epstein, and someone else that you might have heard of, Ghislaine Maxwell, seen here with Jeffrey Epstein. According to NBC News, one source familiar with her termination said the reason given was Article 2 of the Constitution, which outlines the president's powers in the Constitution, including his ability to appoint federal officials. Her firing comes as Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi face backlash from MAGA supporters for refusing to release more information about Epstein. This firing also comes as the Trump administration investigates Maureen's father, James Comey, and former CIA Director John Brennan, accusing them of lying to Congress during the probe into Trump's alleged 2016 Russia ties. Christy Greenberg served as a federal prosecutor in the Southern District of New York, where she worked with Maureen Comey, and she joins me now. First, just your reaction to the news, Christy.
Just discussed. Just a few weeks ago, I was in the Southern District of New York courtroom where Maureen Comey was giving her rebuttal address in the 𝗫𝗠𝗍𝗍 trial. I can tell you it was the best rebuttal jury address I've ever heard. It was incredible. She was incredible throughout that trial.
See, one thing we should note, guys, is that, like, presidents don't do this, okay? A federal prosecutor, dude, let's go, dude, 23, let's go, baby. A federal prosecutor in, one of the districts, out of the blue, just firing that prosecutor. The president can do it. They just don't do it. It's something that never comes up. Like, normally presidents don't get involved in the Justice Department. I mean, they might get involved if there was some, impropriety going on. But again, it's either the ties to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, or it's the tie to James Comey, and it's like a revenge firing. But it's pretty wild to just come out of the blue right in the middle of this too. You know what I'm saying? It is like, I feel like it's going to harm him. Like, he thinks probably he's doing it. So if she comes forward, they can discredit. If something leaks, they can discredit it, whatever, disgruntled employee. But I don't think it's going to work out that way.
Just such command of the courtroom. She is somebody who is really beloved in the Southern District of New York. She's been a supervisor of the violent and organized crime units, where I worked with her, as well as the public corruption units. She has prosecuted many high-profile cases. She is truly a prosecutor's prosecutor, somebody that people look up to. And this has to not just hit me hard, but all of the people who've worked with her and know how great a prosecutor she is. It has to hit them hard as well today.
I should note that I think, part of this Laura Loomer, who I can never quite find the right way to describe her on air.
Dude, she's a batshit fucking conspiracy junkie weirdo. Handcuffed herself to the Twitter building. Dude, Laura Loomer? God damn, bro, she's crazy.
Sort of fit for air, but
crazy.
She says crazy. She said this back in May. Why does James Comey's daughter still work for the DOJ? Why hasn't Blondie fired her? Blondie being the name she used for Pam Bondi. And here's Charlie Kirk sort of echoing similar sentiments to his audience. Take a listen.
We are your students in dismantling the deep state. And this cancer has been festering in this country for decades. So the boil is the intelligence community.
Dude, the deep state. The deep state. They're still talking about the deep state, baby.
The boil is James Comey is involved in all of this stuff. James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor on the Ghislaine Maxwell case. You think of all the prosecutors that could have been chosen in the federal government. Maureen Comey, I think that's her name, was chosen as the prosecutor on the Maxwell case.
Now, dude, she's, you know, I mean, what's crazy about this is they're all, I mean, they're kids, of course. If this is like how elite society works, right? If you're a politician, your kid's going to end up being a reporter at CNN or the New York Times or an on-air personality at NBC, right? If you're the head of the FBI, James Comey, your daughter's going to be a federal prosecutor somewhere. That's kind of how it works, right? The way the sort of nepotism shit works. But I mean, he's making it seem as though, like, because James Comey's daughter's working on this case, Comey is directing, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Comey is really running the show. Comey is the mastermind behind all this. I know, dude. She put Maxwell in prison for 20 years. I mean, dude, Donald Trump, they didn't even start prosecuting her. You know, they killed Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell wasn't even going to get prosecuted. But everything to them is a conspiracy. It's the deep state, right? It's James Comey. James Comey is the mastermind behind all this. By the way, James Comey, the guy who sunk Hillary Clinton's campaign, right? So James Comey sunk Hillary Clinton's campaign so Donald Trump could win, so they could bust Epstein, and Epstein could die, then Donald Trump could lose, and then Joe Biden would come in and Comey's daughter would prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell, only for Comey to reintroduce these things 4 years later, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty funny, isn't it? How, like, their conspiracy theory is like, wow, dude, James Comey is, like, really in the shit, you know? And you know what it reminds me of, guys? It's a tweet from Laura Looney, right? Laura Loomer had a tweet like yesterday or something. I don't know if you saw it, but she was tweeting about Tim Walz. And she said, oh my God, the killer who executed those lawmakers said Tim Walz, like, made him do it. And Tim Walz wanted him to kill Amy Klobuchar because Tim Walz wanted her Senate seat. But guys, Tina Smith, the other senator in Minnesota, is retiring right now. Okay. So Laura Loomer's big investigation was that instead of Tim Walz running for Tina Smith's Senate seat and simply getting the Senate seat, he instead was going to risk his entire career to hire a whack job to execute some local lawmakers and then try to kill Amy Klobuchar. So now both Minnesota Senate seats would be open, right? And I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he risk his whole fucking career and have multiple people killed by some whack job when he could literally just run and get Tina Smith's fucking Senate seat, which he could easily fucking win, right? I mean, dude, there are several Tim Walzes. I mean, they're fucking conspiracy theories, like, they don't add up, you know? They don't add up, guys. It's like, what are they doing, bro? What are they fucking doing? But yeah, okay, now Charlie Kirk, deep state, baby.
James Comey is involved in all of this stuff. Students in dismantling the deep state. And this cancer has been festering in this country for decades. So the boil is the intelligence community. The boil is James Comey is involved in all of this stuff. James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor on the Ghislaine Maxwell case. You think of all the prosecutors that could have been chosen in the federal government. Maureen Comey, I think that's her name, was chosen as the prosecutor on the Maxwell case. Come on.
I mean, what's the conspiracy theory there? Like, the woman that actually prosecuted this woman and brought her to justice is the cover
dude.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're truly in the idiocracy right now, because if you care about prosecuting sex trafficking cases, which is what a number of these individuals say they care about, and that's why they're so obsessed with Jeffrey Epstein and holding his co-conspirators to account. That's exactly what Maureen Comey did. She was the lead prosecutor who held his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell to account. She is serving a prison sentence of 20 years. She was convicted at trial of 5 sex trafficking counts. She is arguably the most preeminent sex trafficking prosecutor in the country right now. So when you ask why hasn't she been fired, that's why, because she gets results, because she is an excellent prosecutor.
Well, and plus, it was happening in SDNY, so they're going to pick somebody from SDNY. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, it ended up in SDNY, so they're going to pick the person who's, the gunslinger in that fucking department, which was clearly her.
I think is worth kind of taking a second on. I don't think this is sort of the most pressing, and I think most people don't care about this, but I do. So give me 60 seconds on it. Article 2 of the Constitution does not allow the president to unilaterally get rid of the entire concept of the civil service. Like, the civil service exists for a reason. It was brought about by both a combination of statutes passed by Congress and signed by presidents, as well as findings by the Supreme Court over
decades,
a century.
Yeah.
What he is asserting here is the president can fire anyone for any reason, anywhere in the government, at any time, because of Article 2.
So I have not, it's been reported that apparently Maureen Comey got a letter, and in that letter, Article 2 is what is cited as the basis for his power to fire her. And this goes back to their whole theory of the unitary executive theory, right? That, as you said, that the president has these comprehensive control over the executive branch, its officers, including the power to remove them all. And unfortunately, it seems the Supreme Court sort of, is in agreement with this very expansive view of the executive authority.
Dude, yeah, the Supreme Court, like right now, I don't think I can underestimate how much the Supreme Court is like fucking us right now. Like, no shit, guys. There's a meme that's going around that I'm going to post on social media. You may have seen it. Somebody put it in Discord. Let me find it. Okay. But dude, it's this fucking meme. It is accurate, bro. Right here. I know this thing seems like a joke, but this is no lie, man. This is actually what we're fucking contending with, guys. No joke. The Supreme Court is really, they are so outrageous. They are so outrageous in the way they're sort of like buttressing Donald Trump's presidential power, but they did not offer the same presidential power behind Joe Biden. They are letting him wield outsized influence over shit. And they're doing it in a really sort of nefarious kind of way. Welcome, Death Force. They're doing it in a really sort of nefarious way where basically what's happening is Trump keeps litigating not the issue, okay? Like for the national injunction thing, okay? What happened was they took that to the Supreme Court, but they didn't take the issue of can a lower court, issue a national injunction. They took the issue of whether that particular lower court had overstepped its bounds, right? They keep finding some sort of satellite issue that's not the issue, right? They won't actually confront birthright citizenship. They will just confront whether, this court operated in the right way, but they know what they're essentially arguing. You know what I'm saying? They know. And I get it that, you're allowed to do that in the law. You are allowed to that's the whole point, is to use that narrow focus to try and circumvent shit. But there are times though when some of these cases that are ending up in front of the Supreme Court shouldn't even be there. They shouldn't even be taking them up. they're like only taking up the cases that are allowing a fucking like Trump to keep eroding at like, you know, any type of checks and balances on them. You know, it's really fucking problematic, dude. Yeah, dude, Trump is an ugly motherfucker.
And we've seen that in a lot of recent Supreme Court cases where the court is kind of chipping away at these protections for civil service employees. It's troubling, and especially when you look at a place like the Department of Justice in the Southern District of New York, where traditionally pre-Trump, it was, it did act independent of the executive. Not so much anymore, obviously.
All right, Christy Greenberg, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, so there we go. Now, did Pam Bondi make an announcement today? Did she actually announce this? Or was this just done on the sly? Right? She did not make an announcement, did she? Oh shit, bro. Yeah, so that was just done and reported. But now this is crazy. Like in the middle of this nonsense, they fired the Epstein prosecutor. Now, I'm really curious, okay? I'm really curious what happens here, right? Aren't you? Aren't you curious? Like now that she's no longer employed, you think she's going to hit the talk show circuit? Right? Should we get her in here? Be like, Maureen, let's fucking go. But dude, they're investigating James Comey on some bullshit, right? They are investigating Comey on the Russian investigation and shit, which like, man, dude, I know Trump keeps calling it the Russia hoax, but let's be honest. We know that was some nefarious shit, dude. We know that was some nefarious shit. Now, there is, fortunately, what we have here is that Dan Bongino was seen back in the office. All right. He's working hard, as you can see. There's Dan Bongino in his new office. All right. He's making shit happen. He's returned to work. Let's go. Oh, shit. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. You're looking good. You're looking good, dude. That fucking, you don't clean up well, but thank you. Thanks for being here. Dude, let's go. Dude, Chris, thank you very much, dude. What's good, Chris? How you doing? Appreciate that, boss. Let's fucking go. And dude, going back with Borrow Bad and 23. Appreciate you guys. Dude, should we see if there's a fucking, should we see if we can get a dance party kicking? Let's go, dude. Holy shit. 50 super chats for a dance party? Just kidding. Dude, let's go. I want to dance, bro. Let's make it fucking happen. 1 hour. We go. Party. There it is, baby. $2 or higher? Let's fucking go. There it is. Dude, let's go. Death Force kicking us off. There's one. Uno. Dude, why is that shit not registering? Did you do that right before? Dude, I'm waiting for the counter to go up, bro. Shit's not registering. It's supposed to register. You must have done it like right before that shit started. Dude, they nixed you, boss. Brutal. Dude, look at Pam Bondi. Look at her, dude. Dude, these people are so craven. It's 1 cent under. No, the $1.99 ones count, Furl. Right? They do. They do count. Dude, look at her, though. They're so craven, bro. They've got their little crosses on. They're like, you know what I mean? So craven. All right, so Maureen Comey is out. Trump is fucking not looking good, bro. Dude, who, Pam Bondi? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Pam Bondi's quite as crazy as fucking, I feel like MAGA Mike Johnson right now, the most punchable face in all of government is definitely MAGA Mike Johnson. Dude, MAGA Mike. Is there something new about Trump's hand? I saw it yesterday, right? We looked at it yesterday. Dude, Gretchen's. Let's go. Best band ever. Let's go. Oh, you like Third Eye Blind? Dude, I like Third Eye Blind. Stephen Jenkins, amazing. But was there something else on Trump's hand yesterday? Because Stephen Miller. Yeah, Stephen Miller, he's definitely a swine, dude. That guy is a swine. They all look like Stepfords. They do, man. They do. You like 311? All right. All right. 311, let's go. Oh, were you asking me best band ever? Were you asking me who I like to? Jay's, let's go, baby. Is that what you were? I thought you were commenting on this shirt. For me, the best band, like my favorite band was always Jane's Addiction, right? That was my jam, was Jane's Addiction. And later, like one of my favorites has always been Hole, right? I'm a big Courtney Love fan. I know that's not very popular with a lot of people, but I've followed Courtney Love for her whole fucking career. From like way back in the very beginning of Hole when they were fucking, right? Is there a way for you to pay to Death Force? Yeah, for a membership, you just go down in the video, there's a join button, right? It's the button called join. You like Sonic Youth? Yeah, no, for me it was Jane's Addiction, and then Hole is another one of my favorites, right? Jane says, you like that song? That was not my favorite song of theirs, but I was a big Jane's fan. And partially because, oh yeah, if you're mobile though, go into the description and there's a link. There's a link for on mobile that you can go into the browser. But I've seen L7. L7 was a good show, right? And yeah, no, on mobile, if you go into the description, there should be a link that you can open with the browser. You can do it via the browser. I know they try to avoid the mobile because Apple are like mafiosos. They take 30% of everything, you know? So the Melvins, all right. Melvins are all right, but they're definitely not the best band out there. Dude, you're leaving Sergio, right? Yeah. Oh, from Jane says. Rancid. All right. Let's go. Dude, Death Forest. There he is. Let's go, baby. Member. Oh, you found it. Yeah, no, I saw L7 way back in a fucking, man, I can't remember who I saw them with. I think it was like L7 and like Babes of Toyland or something like that. It may have been Babes of Toyland, Cat Bjelland. It was a good show. Man, I was lucky. For me, growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, I got to see the LA music scene change. And I was alive in the fucking perfect time. Social Distortion, yeah, good band, seen them too. Right? But so, and as far as the Pixies go, Jack, here's my deal with the Pixies. I like some of the Pixies music, and I totally get that they were seminal and everybody was like a huge like fan of theirs and they were very influential. But I always personally thought the Pixies were one of the most overrated bands ever. I know me and my son have arguments about that. He disagrees with that statement, but I think the Pixies are one of the most overrated bands ever. They're not bad, but I just never thought they were as magical as everyone around me always thought they were. I've had a couple of bands that I felt that way, The Pixies was one. Led Zeppelin was another one that I thought was kind of overrated. The Rolling Stones and fucking Korg. Let's go, baby. And Radiohead. To me, Radiohead may have been the most overrated band ever in the history of all time. Right? Dude. Fucking Radiohead, dude. I was like, dude, just not into him, man. Not vibing. All right. So yeah, nice price. Yeah, no, it's the membership is better price. And what's great about it is even though the Cyberpunk level is cheaper, I make as much money, right, off the Cyberpunk as I did off a full sub on Twitch, which is way more expensive. You didn't like Coldplay? Dude, I love Coldplay. I like I'll listen to Coldplay over Radiohead, dude, all day long. I know. Overrated? They never made it big though? Yeah, well, but Jack, the thing about them though is like everybody sort of reveres them as though they're like the godfathers of rock, right? The Pixies, right? But I mean, at least when I was growing up in music, they were like, had reverential treatment, you know? The Pixies, they were like this untouchable, like pinnacle of perfection. And I was always like, I just don't think they're that good, man. Zepp overrated? Yeah. Yeah, no, my kid definitely disagrees with that one. Dude, the Zepp overrated. That's just how I feel. Not as overrated as the Stones, man. All right. All right, you ready? Let's move, though, baby. We got motion on the ocean. Dude, let's check this out. Okay, first off, let's, before we move on, we're going to move on to Cenk Uygur. Watch him have a fucking meltdown. Do you guys know who 𝗏𝗧𝗏 is? Right? He went on some fucking show with fucking 𝗤𝗢𝗎𝗓 right? On News Nation. Dude, what fucking clowns, dude. Dude, I can't stand that woman, okay? I can't. She is like crazy, like pro-Israel, Trump-supporting weirdo. Dude, she is such a fucking weirdo. We're going to look at that in a minute. Cenky, but there's two things I want to look at, though, real quick. Dude, look at how young she was before she started prosecuting cases. Dude, it's crazy. Why is BizPac Review, right? Look at this. Look at what these guys did, dude. Look at this. Look at this fucking propaganda here, okay? So I just want to look at this because look at this. It says Jim Comey's daughter is prosecutor in Epstein sex trafficking case, right? But look at the picture they use. They use a picture of her singing at a choir at like a girls' school, right? Like, why would they use that picture? You know what I'm saying? You see how they like try to delegitimize her? You see the propaganda level they're using here in this BizPac Review, where they, you know, to announce her, you know, prosecuting the Epstein case, and they use a picture of her that makes her look like one of the girls who would be trafficked. Right. It's like a picture of her from high school and this weird picture of her doing, you know, an artistic thing. It's like so fucking bizarre, man. I mean, the way they propagandize this shit, they're not even like, they're not even smooth about it. You know, borrow bad. Let's go. Let's go, baby. We're almost halfway there. All right. So there were a couple of things I want to look at here. All right. We need to look at two things before we move on to Cenky. Okay. There was some insane, we got to look at the Chris Cuomo. Oh my God, dude. Okay. You ready? So here we go. All right. Here's what we got. First off, we got Chris Cuomo. Dude, What in the actual fuck is this, dude? Watch this clip, bro. Right? MAGA's in uproar because Trump said nobody cares about Epstein. Hint, everybody cares about Epstein. Okay? Everybody cares about Epstein. I will go so far as to say this Epstein case is the one thing that I feel like every political spectrum in America can agree. You know, the only difference is for us Democrats, if we find out that Bill Clinton's on there or some other like Democratic person, we're going to want them in jail, right? If the Republicans find out Trump is on there, they're going to want to vote for him again, right? That's the big difference. Or they're not going to believe it. But yeah, watch this, dude. This is insane.
And now this administration is kind of looking like more of what you oppose, that they're covering for the powerful. Now, by the way, I don't believe that that's what this administration is doing. Certainly not to cover for Trump. Those pictures online of him with Epstein and the young girl and the hand, it's fake. I can't show you the picture, and I shouldn't show it to you because it's just going to keep the fakery going. He knew Epstein. He liked Epstein. He partied with Epstein. But he also knew that he was a creep, and he took some private action against him.
First off, there's 1 or 2 photos of Trump with young girls and Epstein that is a fake, but there's a lot of real photos, a lot of real photos of Trump with fucking young girls and Trump and Epstein around young women and various fucking party situations. Dude, what the fuck though, bro? He's like, because there's one fake picture, he's like, man, yeah, no involvement. He's like, yeah, he's like, they're fake. It's like, bro, there's a couple of fake pictures, but like, man, you know what I'm saying? And you know what it is, DB Golding? It's not even like 24-year friendship and he didn't know he was a pedo. It's after 24 years of friendship, he knew exactly what Jeff Epstein did for a living. Okay? He knew. All right? He didn't, like, Trump didn't consider that to be being a pedo because a lot of those guys in Trump circles are into that shit. They pay big money for that shit.
And I've never seen proof that ties Trump to any of the ugly, disgusting, illegal, and lascivious behavior that Epstein loved.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Chris Cuomo, we have seen a bevy of evidence. I, in fact, made an entire video about it, guys. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to put the link right now. Hold on, give me 1 sec here. I'm going to put the link. It's the Predator in Chief video. All right? I have a video that I made that chronicles, like, whoops, that's not it. There we go. That chronicles a huge list of things. You know what I'm saying? That Trump, from him saying he grabs him by the pussy, aka no consent, to him talking about walking in on young girls at his beauty pageants, to him talking about wanting to fuck his daughter, etc., etc. The 10-year-old girl on the escalator, I'll be dating her soon. Watching his friend's daughter, Paris Hilton's sex tape. I mean, just a lot of cringe shit. Okay? And yeah, Chris Cuomo, his brother, is a sex pest. So, of course, he's covering this shit. But for him to act like we have not seen ample, circumstantial evidence that would lead us to believe that Trump would both know about what Epstein did and possibly partake in it, like, come on, man. We have seen the evidence, all right? We have.
So I actually find Trump's position on Epstein to be pretty reasonable for him. And now this administration is kind of looking like more of what you oppose.
Yeah, see, interesting there. So he thinks Trump is being reasonable, right? He's like, oh, I've never seen proof. Yeah, I find Trump's position on Epstein is pretty reasonable. And what position is that, Chris Cuomo? That it's like boring and old news. We should just be over it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wait, hold on. I mean, to be fair, Chris Cuomo, let me just point some out. Let's go look at the big White House announcement today. right? Because Trump is like, Epstein is boring, but what is Trump announcing? He's announcing that fucking, where is it? Right? Dude, he's doing a lot of fucking pictures of, he's announcing something about Coke. Oh, great. They're going to put cane sugar in Coke. Nice. That's really the real important issues, guys. Which, by the way, the only reason they're doing this is because there's some big deal with a Florida business, a agriculture, like giant corporation that now is going to get the market of all the sugar cane for Coke, right? So this isn't even about it. Did Coke say no? Did it? Good. Oh, shit. Good for them, dude. Because, like, Trump is trying to fucking set this up when in actuality, this is just, like, favor to fucking, like, to his financial interests. And Coke said no? Good. Good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love sugarcane Coke. I do. Dude, where did Coke make an announcement? Thanks. Oh, thanks for the enthusiasm. Nice. They do that in Mexico. But again, guys, it's like, it's not cheap. Right? It's not. But again, it wasn't about Trump trying to like make Coke better or to make your experience of Coke better or to get rid of the high fructose corn syrup. It was literally came down to the fact that he's trying to like create a market for a giant agribusiness that has sugarcane. Okay. So he was trying to like encourage Coke to fucking switch this shit up in order to feed this fucking agricultural giant, which would just jack up the price. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like you can't, Coke's not going to be cheap. I mean, Coke is already over fucking outrageously expensive. But I like this right here, right? We want Epstein files and Trump is like, oh, sugarcane Coke. Or, oh yeah, right? But so Coca-Cola said no. You don't get why they haven't used sugarcane because it's expensive. Okay? It's expensive. Right? Coca-Cola dodges. Asked about the switch. A representative didn't say it would use cane sugar for products in the U.S. Okay? It's expensive. And what's more, there's a couple of things. Like one is it's expensive. It's more expensive. But two is we high fructose corn syrup. You guys got to understand America's relationship to corn. Okay? America, we've fucked ourselves. Okay? We have fucked ourselves because we grow too much corn. Okay? We grow way too much corn for what the world needs. And in fact, there are places in Nebraska and Iowa and shit, in Indiana, where they are just growing endless amounts of corn. They're fucking destroying the land, growing this corn. And ultimately, high fructose corn syrup became something that they can use that uses up some of that corn, right? So those farmers still have an existence, and it's a cheap sweetener, so they can put it in everything. And it's also probably like makes people stickier with the product, right? You're going to buy that shit more often with the high fructose corn syrup. Dude, it's just more addictive. You know what I mean? And yeah, dude, they have way more sugar cane down in Latin America. Absolutely. There's not a lot of sugar cane here, guys. I mean, there's, you know, it's like sugar is a little sugar cane here is a little pricier. You know, you're a Coke whore. Dude, I used to love Coke, man. I used to love Coke. You know, love it. Yeah, we don't really have the climate for it. I mean, you got it in Hawaii. You got it in, you know, you got it in like the Dominican area. right? In you know, Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and shit. You got it in Florida. But dude, you like Sprite now? So I don't really drink soda anymore. I now drink my Rockstar, but I used to drink a lot of Coke. Coke and Dr. Pepper were always my main two. And I like 7-Up. I don't really like Sprite. I like fucking 7-Up. Yeah, in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, they have a ton of it, right? And so, I mean, we, you know, when I had money, before I like switched my content and shit, I used to buy the cane sugar 7-Ups are amazing. Dude, the Mexican 7-Ups in the glass bottles, dude, shit is so good. You know, it is so good. Rockstar is far right owned. I mean, nothing I could do about that, boss. Right? So is Amazon. Right? So is YouTube. Like, join the club. So is everything. Right? You got to pick your battles, boss. Every corporation is far right owned for the most part. You know what I mean? Dude, let's go. Yeah, I don't boycott everything. I'm not that kind of guy, dude. I don't live my life trying, oh shit, oh far right, oh fuck, oh my nuts are swelling, oh. It's like, goddamn, bro, you can't boycott it all. So you got to pick the shit you fucking get into. I don't give a fuck. $3 is too much for a 16-ounce Coke. That's a lot. Dude, no soda. Yeah, I don't really drink a lot of sodas anymore. I don't. I have like 1 or 2 Red Bulls a day. Usually 1, occasionally 2. I mostly drink coffee, right? I fucking mostly drink coffee. Dude, I do engage in some boycotts. I do, right? You think you hit a nerve? Dude, fuck off. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I mean, when you engage in that kind of behavior, boss, right? Yeah, that person, oh, something's far right owned. Oh, did I hit a nerve when you responded to me? Fuck you. Yeah, you didn't hit a nerve. You hit a bye-bye. Later. Smell ya. Dude, let's go, Barrelbat. You like that? Homie thought he was all extra special. Oh, I hit a nerve. No, you did. You hit the kill switch, bro. Later. Yeah, I like to keep my chat clear of fucking self-congratulatory people who think they think they're like, oh, I'm here to try and get a reaction. Oh, like, dude, we're fucking streamers. It's our job to react. Let's go. Dude, I boycott Chick-fil-A, boss. Dude, Chick-fil-A is one that I do boycott. And Target, right? I boycott Target too. But I will break the Target boycott once a year, because once a year on Jenny's birthday, like Jenny collects stuffed animals and shit. She does. She loves stuffed animals. She's got a huge collection of all different kinds of stuffed animals. And so I did boycott Target because of what they did with the DEI and the way they handled Pride Month. Okay, and just sort of becoming fucking right-wing turds. And so but I'm breaking that once a year because Jenny and I do go to Target around her birthday, and getting Jenny the stuffed animals that they have there and going through that process is more important than my boycott. So once a year, I'll go spend $20 at fucking Target just because it's a Jenny thing. You like Popeyes? Dude, Popeyes is good. Dude, yeah, Target's fucking is not, right? It's just not a good company. You know what I mean? Somebody gave you a gift card. See, if you get a gift card, you got to do it. But yeah, so Trumpy here, though, that's good to know. See, there's more of the Trump ethos, right? Because here he is, dude, is Trump is like already telling us that they have agreed to do so. You know what I'm saying? Right? They have agreed to do so, guys, before they agreed to do so. And again, this right here, this is like the entire Trump investment sort of scenario, right? Every time Trump says, oh, they're investing, right? Oh, I brought in $1 trillion in investment. You know it's fucking bullshit, Okay, you do. Like everything Trump says is fucking bullshit. But all right, let's go back and see if we can find the oh yeah, here we go. There's something else I want to look at here, which is this. Okay, look at this shit. Okay, so this is Tim Burchett, right? You guys remember Tim Burchett? Yeah, 90 deals in 90 days, Hugo. I know, dude, it was 2 deals. 2 deals in 90 days. You boycott Target and Chick-fil-A? Let's go. Good for you. Yeah. No, who else do we boycott? I boycott fucking Chick-fil-A. I boycott Target. I boycott, I don't know that I have any other staunch boycotts, right? Oh, Walmart? Yeah. I don't really boycott Hobby Lobby. I would never shop at Hobby Lobby anyway. But I don't generally go to Walmart, but they got rid of the Walmarts here in Portland. But I normally don't go to Walmart. Home Depot, I normally don't go to. I go to Lowe's, right? We go to Lowe's before Home Depot always, right? But yeah, dude, Tim Burchett is a fucking snake. Lowe's blows. You do Costco. Nice. Let's go. Worked at Whole Foods before Amazon. All right. Dude, I boycott Whole Foods because it's just too damn expensive, right? I do like Trader Joe's. I've been getting into Trader Joe's lately. You hate Walmart? Yeah, I don't like Walmart either. Amazon? I don't boycott Amazon. Dude, I kind of like with the Twitch streaming and shit, I sort of work for Amazon in a way, right? Right? I mean, whoopsie. But dude, I'm an imperfect guy, right? I'm an imperfect guy. That's all I can say. Amazon is the worst. Dude, Amazon is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right. So let's watch this, though, because Tim Burchett obviously is a snake. Dude, he is. He is a fucking scoundrel. Oops. Dude, what the fuck, bro? God damn it, dude. Hold on. I got to re-grab my chat again. Sorry. Fucking new to fucking YouTubery. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, we're halfway to dance party. Let's go. We're getting it. We're getting it. All right. We must dance. There we go. Trump for life in prison. You can't boycott Amazon. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to boycott Amazon. I mean, eventually Amazon's going to be all that's left. You watch, dude, right? That's going to be all that's left eventually. Oh, the person who's crying about Trump. Yeah, we just bounce him. Turn and burn, baby. Sorry, no offense. I mass deport Trump trolls, right? You guys voted for mass deportations, right? Fucking Trump trolls. But so Tim Burchett is the guy who is like crazy. Dude, you know, it's probably somebody fucking on their burner. So Tim Burchett is the big anti-drag queen guy. This is the guy that had a huge problem with drag queens. He doesn't, however, have a problem grabbing his fellow Congress members' asses and sexually harassing them on the floor of the House, right? He doesn't mind sexually harassing men, but he does have a problem with men dressing up like, you know, like women dressing up in drag. But here he's going to tell us a little bit about fucking Trumpy shitting on his own audience.
Well, President Trump, as you know, is calling the Epstein controversy BS. He's actually labeling Republicans as, these are his words, stupid and foolish, even calling his own supporters weaklings for not letting this story go. And he says he doesn't want their support anymore. What's your response to President
All
Trump?
right.
President Trump has his own opinions, but honestly, ma'am, he wins. Just like tonight, the cryptocurrency bill, it passed in the House because President Trump negotiated. He has a strategy and all that.
Dude, you guys have a fucking majority in the House. You see this guy? He's like, this bill passed because President Trump has a strategy. It's like, dude, you guys have the majority. It should be easy for you to pass bills. Have a fucking strategy. Like, what a fucking clown, bro. Like, you guys have a majority in both houses, and they're acting like it's a huge deal that they passed a bill. This is Republicans, right? You know what I'm saying? They control all of Congress, and they have to fucking, everybody's got to stand around the toilet and look at the turd floating to celebrate that they're able to pass one bill, bro. They're so bad, dude. They just can't fucking govern at all.
Just like tonight, the cryptocurrency bill, it passed in the House because President Trump negotiated. He has a strategy and all this, and I suspect that's going to play out because, dadgummit, he wins every dadgum time. The big
Dadgummit. Like, when he says that shit, you want a 9-iron? Like, I want a 9-iron. Dadgummit. 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 Dadgummit wins every dadgummit time. Dude, I want a fucking 9-iron, bro. It is so fake, dude. Dadgum. Dadgummit. Oh. Fucking. Dude, look at him. Tell me this guy. Dude, this guy, tell me his browser history isn't just the most skunked thing imaginable. Look at his face, right? I'm telling you right now, this guy's browser history, if you fucking went in there, you would be like, holy shit, bro. Burchett is like not fucking around, dude. This guy is like probably some dark web kind of shit, bro. Dude, dark web, dude. You know it. Look at him. Look at him. No, I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing the shorts that I was wearing to my fucking... Here we go. Look at him. Oh, dadgummit. Don't look at my browser history. Don't look in there. Come on, honey. Don't look in my incognito browser.
all this, and I suspect that's going to play out because, dadgummit, he wins every dadgum time. The big beautiful bill hitting Iran.
Dude, look at his
the way
eyes.
They did with no American loss of life. It's uncanny that he ends up on top, and I suspect on this case he will do as well.
And you don't have any concern that...
Yeah, he ended up on top, all right, Burchett. It's just he ended up on top of some 13-year-old girls. You fucking piece of shit. Dude, yeah, no, they literally... You got to wonder, like, what does Trump have on these guys? Dude, dadgum? Dagnabbit? Dadgum? Dude, twice in the sentence. Isn't that crazy? Like, don't you think, like, we should probably censure this guy and impeach him just for saying dadgummit in fucking twice in one sentence, bro? That is the most awkward, like, contrived, fake Southern bullshit I've ever seen in my life, dude. Suspect, bro. This guy can, when you do that, you say that word twice in one sentence, and you're not allowed within 300 feet of a school. Dude, somebody said squeal like a pig. Dude, yeah, after this interview, he's got his Deliverance fucking audition, bro. Fucking 8 p.m. sharp. Dag nabbit. Oh, dadgum. All right. Here we go. One more on Comey. Dadgum. All right. What in the dadgum?
Another one is that tonight we learned that the DOJ has fired Maureen Comey, who's a well-respected federal prosecutor who also happens to be, I like to phrase it that way, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey from her job in the Southern District of New York. And she worked, and I started the show talking about this, in the U.S. Attorney's Office for nearly a decade, where, among other things, she handled high-profile sex trafficking prosecutions and was responsible for prosecuting both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. What's your reaction to the reporting, and what do you make of it?
You know, none of this is good news for the Trump administration or the American people, for that matter, because either she was fired because she's James Comey's daughter, which would be totally inappropriate and a wrongful termination, or she was fired because she was prosecuting Epstein and his accomplices. And why would they fire her over that? And why would they fire her now?
In the middle of the fracas. Yes, that's a good question there.
So none of this makes any sense, or none of it as a good or innocent explanation to it, which is why they're just continuing to founder over this. They created this conspiracy theory. They fed this conspiracy theory, and now they have a MAGA base that has bought into it, and Donald Trump is at the point of calling his own supporters weaklings who bought into this bullshit that he was peddling, among others. So this is just widening and expanding upon all of the distrust of Donald Trump.
Dude, I mean, isn't this ironic, guys? Isn't this ironic that Trump himself elevated after Epstein died? Trump was spreading the conspiracy theories that Epstein was killed by the Clintons. Then Kash Patel and Dan Bongino make their entire fucking careers about the Epstein files. And Charlie Kirk and all of the right-wingers, libs of TikTok, DC Drano, Cat Turd, every one of them, the operative narrative was the Democrats and Hollywood and the elites are all part of this pedophile ring, and the Republicans are like the heroes pulling out their sword to slay the dragons. And now he's like saying, all of you are bullshit who buy into this thing. Obama and James Comey, dude, James Comey was fired in 2017, a full 2 years before the reckoning with Epstein getting arrested in 2019. Like, bro, it is the craziest shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They have been all in on this for a decade, man, just about. And now they're trying to like opt out. Now they're trying to flip. What do we got? 21 minutes, baby. Let's get that dance going. Dude, they're fucking going ape shit. All right. We're going to come back to this right here, the 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀. Dude, this we got to wait till you see this. I don't know if you saw this clip, but this is a little comic relief that after Cenk Uygur, we're going to come back and look at this. Dude, oh my God. They are like going crazy, bro. They are. They're fucking going crazy. But dude, this 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀 bit, dude, disgruntled. Let's go, baby. Dude, why does all the GOP remind you of those weird-ass parents trying to protect their terrible toddler's ego? Yeah, it's like wild. I don't understand what they do. Dude, Dutch, let's go, baby. Appreciate that. Thank you for fucking the Dutch. We got to get you guys in here. Let's go, Europe. But that is some crazy shit, isn't it? When you think about it, the way they talk about putting him on like Mount Rushmore, and they just totally like North Korea vibes, like pump him up and blow smoke so far up his ass you can see his fucking neck pussy like vibrating and shit. You know, they stick fucking Oscar Mayers in his fucking neck gina, right? Every morning they go slide a couple Oscar Mayers in there. Like, what are they doing that for? What do they get out of the deal? I mean, I guess he's got a very rabid cult following. So maybe that to them, they feel like that's their ticket to, staying electable and shit, right? Because they don't want his cult to turn against him. But so let's check out some Cenk Uygur. Okay. This is a Cenk Uygur meltdown with, fucking dude, DB Golding. Let's go, baby. All right. We got fucking 2 more, baby. 2 more and we dance. All right. This is Cenk Uygur on 𝗏𝗢𝗍, on on News Nation with fucking with 𝗏𝗢𝗍 Sargon. Okay, do you guys know who she is? She's crazy. If you don't know who she is, you're about to know who she is. But she is like a crazy Zionist Trump fucking like supporter. She is out there, bro. She is out there in Trump land. All right. Look at this sweat. Dude, so Janky, I've noticed a couple things about Cenk lately, guys. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Cenk seems like not his usual self. Okay? Crypto, let's go. Thank you. 𝗙𝗪𝗡𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗙. I love saying that. 𝗙𝗪𝗡𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 just felt like he's just off. His rages seem faker. He oftentimes seems like he's going through the motions even more than normal. There is something about him that has made me think that that he sees some of the writing on the wall. Okay, like I feel like he knows that 𝗙𝗪𝗏 is trying to jump ship, and I think he knows that, you know, TYT. They're right. Yeah, it's like he's starting to know that he's done, because when you think about it, they've really closed shit off. It was the poly market money that really took the like the end of any trust on the left wing, and he kind of has been, you know, pandering to the right wing people, but none of them take him seriously. They only bring him on to shit on the fucking Democrats and shit. But other than that, they're never going to like make a coalition with him. And yeah, dude, she's basically done. I mean, she's hardly ever on the show. She spends way more time like her take and other right-wing podcasts and shit. Like, I think she's pretty much like basically done, you know? After the blue wave, Cenk and Anna. See, that's just it, John. I don't think Cenk and Anna can ever be a voice of the right. Like, that's what's so mystifying about their shit, because the right wing will never take them seriously, and the left wing is not going to make space for them anymore. So Cenk's like primary sort of mechanism is to just make everybody on the left mad because they still interact with him and expect things from him, left wingers. So what he does is he just goes and behaves like a right-wing person in a left-wing crowd. And then Anna, if you see though, like Anna is now, she's like the left-winger on the fucking far-right extremist PBD show. So she's the left-winger, right? She gets to feel like a leftist because everybody on the fucking show is like a Nazi, right? So she appears to be, you know, left wing, and she's, you know, Lindy Lee is not an Amy Dangerfield and Jillian Michaels. All three of them are like dumb as shit. Like Anna's like the only smart one on the fucking show. Have you noticed that? Like Anna will at least do a little homework on the subjects, but like the other three women, Amy Dangerfield, Lindy Lee, and Jillian Michaels, are just like, they're like all simultaneously trying to resuscitate their fucking brain cell. And just, you know what I mean? They're taking breaks. It's trying to keep that fucking brain cell alive. Dude, you know, they're like, she's the smart one. Anna is. She's the smart one, the well-spoken one, you know? Yeah, I mean, social, there is a lot of that. Anna, like a lot of Anna now is literally people are in the comments asking her to get undressed, which is weird. Like, I don't remember seeing that before. I don't remember seeing that. So this, I don't think this is Cuomo's show, right? But this is the network, okay? This is Leland Vittert. I don't know who this guy is, okay? I've never seen this guy before, right? Banfield, I don't know whose show it is, but it's the same network, right? News Nation. Dude, Cuomo, dude, the Cuomos are fucking skunks, bro. All right, you ready? Well, shall we check this out? I hear this is a pretty good meltdown, guys. This is supposed to be a worthy meltdown. All right, let's go, baby. Dude, I will go on the record saying I do not want to see 𝗙𝗪 𝗙𝗵𝗋 naked. I'll take a hard pass on that. Thank you. Okay? Dude, hard pass. All right? Dude, my celebrity crush is Margaret Qualley. Okay? Dude, I mean, obviously, me and Jenny are very happy together, but we do have celebrity crushes. Okay? Jenny has a couple. Jenny likes Brad Pitt is Jenny's main one. And then her secondary one is the guy, I can't remember his name. I think he's Australian. He's the guy who played Nate on fucking, dude, what's the fucking show with all the drugs with Zendaya? Why, I can't remember the name of the show, right? It starts with an E. Euphoria. Yeah. So Nate, the really good looking high school guy whose dad has the sex issues, right? Jenny loves the guy who plays Nate on that show. The really tall, dark, and handsome dude, right? She's big on him. Mine is Margaret Qualley, right? Right? There's my fucking celebrity crush. Dude. Yeah, the guy with the closeted father, yeah. But there's mine, Margaret Qualley. Oh shit. Dude, big time Margaret Qualley crush. Right? Her and Susanna Son are probably my two. Right? Susanna Son, I mean, you're going to see, I guess, the similarities, right? But do you guys know Susanna Son from the movie Red Rocket? Right? So those are my two celebrity crushes. I mean, they're kind of similar in a way, right? Those are my, like, right? I guess they sort of have that similar fucking pale indie girl vibe. But yeah, those are mine. You like Kat Abu-Ghazaleh? Dude, she's pretty neat, dude. She's good. Let's go. All right, you guys ready? Now that we got our celebrity crushes out of the way? Dude, I got to see what the name is. Nate on Euphoria. It's, oh, his name is, who plays that show? Who plays that guy? What's that guy's name, dude? He's a good actor, actually. Oh, Jacob Elordi. That's who it is. Thank you, Corey. Jacob Elordi. Yeah, Jenny fucking loves him. He's good, though. We saw the movie. We saw that movie about him. What's it called? Where he's like into betting, and his brother's wife is like into betting and shit, and she's like a closet lesbian and bisexual or whatever, and he was gay. That movie that was like, oh, it was really good, man. We literally just saw it. He's a really good actor. But yeah, no, I'm a huge though Margaret Qualley fan, right? Who's looking like shit? You like Uma Thurman? All right. Dude, Margaret Qualley is the best. The best of the best, baby. Woo! Let's go. Cenk will eat turds for cash. All right. All right. It's getting interesting. You guys are getting interesting tonight. Let's go. Love to see it. All right. You ready? Let's get in here, guys. What do we got, guys? We need one more. We have 9 minutes. One more, and then we dance. All right. So we're going to get it during the Cenk Uygur thing, and then we're going to dance after this. Let's scope it out. You ready? All right, we're going to need a dance after fucking watching Cenk Uygur. But I believe he has a melter, dude. I believe he has a pretty significant melter.
No one cares about Epstein files more than MAGA does. So they're not going to get distracted and be like, oh, it's mean old Democrats. No, they want the files. Nothing else is going to satisfy them. And God bless them for it. And I called out Biden for not releasing the files. You're right about that. I said the minute, look, when he died and we got that news, I said on the Young Turks, if the camera in the hallway is working, then it was a suicide. If the camera in the hallway wasn't working, then they killed him. And
dude, you notice how dude, Alexandria Daddario, dig her too, dude. She's a good one. But do you guys notice how every time Cenk does media, every single time he does media, a significant portion of the interaction is him trying to explain to the audience that he called this thing years ago, right? He's like so insecure. He can't simply go there and talk about something. He's got to somehow establish that several years ago, before you ever heard of him, and you've never heard of him, but he was like way ahead of the curve, right? He's like, man, no, I was calling for this, right? Like I was anti-Trump when nobody even knew who Trump was. You know what I'm saying? Like yada, 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 yada. Dude, let's go, Luke. You know what I'm saying? Like he always does that. He is so insecure. All right, here we go, though.
And so at this point, you'd really have to be a sucker to think that he hung himself and that there are thousands of girls got raped, but no one raped them. This is all nonsense. And now Trump is compromised, and it's obvious that he's compromised, and his own base knows it.
Come on.
Yeah, it's super obvious.
I was with you until that. 𝗫𝗢, tell me why Cenk's wrong.
Thank you so much for having me on the fairest show on television, Leland. Great to be here with you and Cenk. I just...
Dude, did you see this guy? When he says Trump is compromised? Oh, come on. He's like, come on. You want some Grey Poupon with that? Oh, I was with you until you said something bad about Trump. And then he's like, 𝗫𝗢, come save me. Come save me.
Come on.
Yeah, it's super obvious. Raped,
dude,
but no one raped them.
Dude, what is this guy's fucking Leland Vittert? What's with this guy's voice? Oh, come on. When I first heard the voice, I thought somebody brought their kid into the studio with them, right? Oh, Lord.
It's all nonsense. And now Trump is compromised, and it's obvious that he's compromised, and his own base knows it.
Come on.
Yeah, it's super obvious.
I was with you until that. 𝗫𝗢, tell
his
me why
voice.
Cenk's wrong.
Thank you so much for having me on the fairest show on television, Leland. Great to be here with you and Cenk. I just kind of don't buy any of this narrative. I as a very famous American writer once said, you know, reports of the demise of the MAGA coalition are greatly exaggerated. I don't think MAGA cares about this. I think the MAGA influencers care about this because for years they created content and made money off of stoking this conspiracy theory. But I've been polling just, you know, normie MAGA voters, supporters of the president.
So she's saying the supporters of the president don't care about a ginormous fucking sex ring scandal. Dude, what the fuck, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? That's insane for her to say. She's like, oh, no, they don't care at all, man. They're like, dude, I don't think that's accurate, bro. I think a lot of people care about this.
For a week now, nobody cares about this. It's just so not a political live wire at all. And even within the MAGA influencer set, you have really substantive, kind, vigorous, but respectful debates like Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly had last night. You know, people are talking about it, but even amongst the MAGA set that is so allegedly exercised about this, you just aren't seeing like people who are, I'm now going to vote for the Democrats because Donald Trump didn't release the Epstein files. So I just...
See, again, though, you see where she went there? Like, she's trying to turn this into some sort of political sidesing. It's not about, I'm going to go vote for the Democrats with MAGA. It has nothing to do with that. MAGA's never voting for the Democrats. But what it is it's establishing a base of distrust with them and their media influencers and the people they do vote for. And that shade of distrust is what makes them less rabid, less likely to show up and vote at all, or less likely to believe the fucking narratives. Like what happens then is now when they see the post on Facebook, they start to wonder, are they lying like they were with Epstein, right? It plants that seed in what had up to now been this sort of impenetrable wall of like MAGA believing the gospel as though it were coming from Jesus himself. And now they're starting to see the schisms of Trump and Elon, and they liked them both, but Elon said they didn't cut the government, and Elon's starting his own party. Trump's in the files, right? I mean, dude, that kind of shit, they're not going to vote for Democrats. But what they are is they are going to lose some of the steam, and their propaganda campaigns are going to lose some of its power. And no, Cenk is not principled. You know what I'm saying? Like, not at all.
So allegedly exercised about this, you just aren't seeing like people who are, I'm now going to vote for the Democrats because Donald Trump didn't release the Epstein files. So I just think this is kind of a tempest in a teacup.
Yeah, no, that's all definitely wrong. Trump's polling will crater, and you'll see he in the next set of polls, he has lost a lot of Republican support. So we'll get to see who's right and who's wrong. So look, guys, you can't call this a conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory is that hundreds, maybe over 1,000 girls raped themselves. That's a lunatic conspiracy theory. Trump said that the files don't exist. Then he said the files are fake and written by Obama and Biden. So which one is it? Are they fake or do they not exist? So who raped the girls? Who raped the girls? No, right. Oh, the government says under both Democrats and Republicans. Oh, no, we're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell you. There's obviously something that they think they can't tell us.
Dude, look at these people, though. Now, again, like with Cenk, you know, we know Cenk is like, whatever. He's just riding this because it's happening now. And this, I think, possibly feeds into Cenk's narrative, this idea that he's going to form a coalition with MAGA. He's going to be the MAGA whisperer. But think about these two people here, okay, on this show, okay, this right-wing news show. Let's forget about Cenk for a minute, okay? But think about these two people here where their primary goal is sort of keeping the MAGA coalition together. They're not really concerned about the issues. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They're not concerned about the issues. They're like she doesn't even care about Epstein. About the girls, the rapes, whatever. She's like, man, I'm just worried about MAGA standing true, right? This guy's just worried about like Trump being the fucking elevated voice or whatever. But the actual issue of, you know, these wealthy motherfuckers making trains of young girls getting abused, people fucking care about that shit, okay? And in a post-Me Too world, we don't really want to allow that shit. People want some answers. There's no reason we shouldn't have some answers. Yeah, I mean, dude, she's a really hardcore Zionist, right? Now I know there's part of this anti-Semitic trope is trying to tie all this to like Zionism, and I like to be a little careful with that whole fucking thing. But she is a huge like Israel supporter, like Trump / Israel supporter. She's a big Trump Netanyahu Barbie is what she is. I mean, that's her sort of claim to fame, right? But
why can't they tell us? Either because leaders in both parties are deeply, deeply implicated, or an intelligence agency, either CIA or Mossad, is deeply implicated, or they did it. They flat.
And see, that's part of the reason why she's here, okay? Because, right, it's like that's Cenk is going to be the other side of the anti-Mossad equation, right? And so that's why they fucking pulled her. You know what I'm saying? That's why they picked her. But
there's obviously something that they think they can't tell us. Why can't they tell us? Either because leaders in both parties are deeply, deeply implicated, or an intelligence agency, either CIA or Mossad, is deeply implicated, or they did it. They flat out did it. Those are your only two answers.
Well,
it's
interesting, right, Cenk? It's interesting, though, that you have something, and we put that poll up, and I think it's important, right? 79% of all voters want the Epstein files released. 80+% of Trump voters say they want the Epstein files released. That's a big part of America. You can't get 83% of Americans to agree that fluffy puppies are cute.
True.
And to that point, you now have something that both parties had the opportunity to do. And I'm as cynical as it can be. If this was terrible for Republicans and not bad for Democrats, Biden would have released it. If this was terrible for Democrats and not bad for Republicans, then Trump would have released it. I think.
See, well, first off, there's a couple of things here. Is one, Biden did prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, so they didn't release the list, but they prosecuted the last available person. Okay, so Biden did prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell. And yes, they didn't release the list. But it also, though, the files were held by Trump's guy, Christopher Wray, at the FBI. And Joe Biden was not like directing the FBI. Okay, Joe Biden did not get involved in the FBI or the DOJ at all. Okay, but we also know that the reason why Democrats never really pursued it was because we know Clinton's in there. Okay, but I think now they're ready, right? I mean, obviously there are fucking people. There's Clinton. There's Bill Gates. I mean, we know Bill Gates is in there. See, watch an interview with Bill Gates' wife, okay? His former wife. You know he's fucking in there. You know Prince Andrew was in there, right? Bill Gates. We know Donald Trump is in there. I bet RFK Jr. is in there. I mean, you could guess that a lot of people on that plane, from the plane, were involved in there. But again, though, the reason why they keep bringing up Biden is they're trying to use the fact that Biden didn't pursue this as a means to prove that Trump is not in there. Okay, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to prove Trump is not in there unless you release everything. And Trump talking about like credibility, she's going to release whatever's credible. You know he's fucking in there, man. I mean, come on, man. We know he's in there. You knew he was in there before that shit. He was fucking Epstein's best friend.
What we're probably all saying here is there are things in these files that maybe it's guilt by association, maybe it's simply names of people that were investigated and did nothing wrong, but that both sides are really not looking forward to having the most powerful among them answer uncomfortable questions, right?
Not anymore. The Democrats are all in.
Hey, Anya?
Oh, is that for me? Look, when you say the Epstein files, there is like tons and tons and tons of footage of Epstein himself raping children, having sex with underage people, right? Like, I don't want that released. That shouldn't be.
Hold on, Anya. We gotta be fair about this.
Dude, nobody's gonna release the fucking sex videos of underage girls, you dumbass. What we're asking for is all the dudes who participated in this shit.
We got to be fair about this. There is the financial files. There is the records of who gave Epstein money to manage, even though he's a terrible money manager. Why? His emails, who he had phone calls with, who he traded favors with. That's not, oh, we can't release videos.
Thank you for finishing the list that I was starting, Leland. So, when you talk about the Epstein files, there are many different aspects to that. There are certainly aspects of it that I think every good human being would not want released. Like that, know, all of the pornography of children, we don't want that released.
No shit.
He also kept lots of files that Ghislaine Maxwell helped organize, which were his Rolodex, his list of people that he had business relations with. Now, the problem is if some of those people did not commit any crimes and you are releasing a trough of documents in which their names appear as his associates, that is going to be unbelievably damaging to people who in many cases did absolutely think wrong.
See, here's the deal, though, right? That's like saying, oh, my God, if anybody has to suffer any discomfort for not doing something wrong, we're going to like forget about all the people that did do something wrong. That's fucking bullshit. Okay? If you know what I mean? Because realistically, if you fucking hung out and had lunch with him or did one business deal with him, I think you're not going to get fucking pinged by that. And if you suffer a little bit, if a couple innocent elite people suffer because to compensate for the thousands of girls whose lives were ruined, we can fucking live with that. A couple of wealthy elite people can fall on a fucking sword and rebuild their lives. You know, I mean, fuck that, dude. I hate that reasoning. That, oh my God, right? That's the same. That's rape culture reasoning. That's, well, you can't really believe the accusation until the guy's fucking criminally convicted because women make things up. And it's like 1 in 1,000 is made up. Okay. Most 999 of them are fucking true. But you create this narrative that we got to not believe any of them because we don't want some guy to get a false accusation. And it's like, fuck that, bro. If guys get false accusations, they can lump it, okay? They can figure it out because women have been getting raped and abused with impunity for 6,000 fucking years. So now if a couple of dudes are inconvenienced or have their careers tarnished for a little while they have to prove their innocence, like, I'm not going to fucking, I'll play the tiniest violin for them. Hold on, you hear it? You hear it? Wait, what does it say? Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. It says, wow.
That is the argument we're hearing. That's really the core of the argument from Trump. So, Cenk, why is it nonsense?
So first of all, I could redact those documents in a week. Okay, so what? It's taken them a decade, 2 decades to redact documents? Garbage, total garbage. So here's the bottom line, guys. At a bare minimum, hundreds of underage American girls were raped, and no one has been prosecuted.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
No
Those are the only
one,
person who's in jail.
no
The only
one.
person,
They did not rape
is a woman.
themselves.
Two
The only
people
person
the
who's in
only
jail
one
is a
the
woman.
prosecutor is a woman. It's
We're both
absurd. It's
prosecuted.
absurd.
One is in prison and one is dead. I mean, like.
Oh, so you
that's
think it was
what
just Maxwell and Epstein?
It's
You know what's
every
super
single
weird? You know
time.
what's super weird? There was this wild theory out there. In the beginning, I thought it was a wild theory that maybe it wasn't that it was Clinton and Trump on the list, et cetera, that maybe it was the intelligence agencies. And then somebody said Mossad. I said, really? Maybe CIA, but why Mossad? Now, every Israeli supporter is like, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Let's just move on. Let's move on. I mean, we can't show any of the evidence. Now I'm beginning to think, wait, was it Mossad? Because and Benjamin Netanyahu comes to town. All of a sudden, they put out a statement. No, there's nothing in the Epstein
Israel
files.
got out of this guy? Like,
Hold on. We can debate the Epstein files all night long.
Dude, you see that? Oh, that fucking got under her skin, though, dude. Oh, shit, bro.
We can debate them. I think it's a fascinating story, but I want to get back to the politics of it. I'm going to give 𝗙ecie the last word and a quick one on this. Of all people, Kevin Spacey released the Epstein files, all of them. For those of us with nothing to fear, the truth can't come soon enough. I hate to make this about me, but the media already has. Kevin Spacey's got some other problems, I might say, before the Jeffrey Epstein files. But I think, 𝗙ecie, I'm going to go back to being beyond cynical. If we just look at this politically, nothing rallies MAGA around Donald Trump like Democrats attacking him. I know why Democrats are doing this. I think it's going to backfire. You get the last word.
I mean, everybody was saying, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, oh, look, he bombed Iran. This is the end. The same characters, the Tucker Carlson agreeing with the Cenk Uygur.
Cenk Uygur, she said. She called him Cenk Uygur. See, here's the deal, though. You ready? The thing about they keep talking about Iran. And, dude, I don't think we've heard the end of Iran. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it that Trump bombed Iran, but Iran's not overly pissed because it didn't affect their nuclear capability. They are going to have a bomb. And we're going to hear a lot more of Iran, like simply because Trump bombed an empty bunker there and fucking swung his 2-inch dick around like he was some sort of big man. But like they act like the Iran thing is over. Like what's going to happen 4 months from now, 6 months from now, when Iran unveils their nuclear weapon. You know, dude, she called him Cenk Uygur. Dude, Cenk. Oh, that's amazing, dude. Cenk Uygur. Dude, let's hear that again, dude. That was priceless.
Are doing this. I think it's going to backfire. You get the last word.
I mean, everybody was saying, you know, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, oh, look, he bombed Iran. This is the end. The same characters, you know, the Tucker Carlson agreeing with the Cenk Uygur. Oh, he's going to lose all his support. It's all nonsense. These people do not understand the Trump voter. This is not going to matter at all.
Now that you name check Cenk, I got to give him the last 15.
The Cenk Uygur. Dude, he should pull it's Uygur. Learn how to say it. He did smile, dude. He should give the Zohran Mamdani. By the way, I ordered a Mamdani shirt. Just so you know, I got a Zoran shirt coming soon. I got a good one, too.
Seconds. Go.
The more Batya talks, the more I think it's Israel.
Oh God! Oh God!
No, it's not. Oh God! Why is that a wrong theory? AIPAC controls Congress. Are you guys being lunatics?
Really lose control of the show. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, this is a different. Guys, this is a different segment. Different segment. We will have you back. Different segment.
Dude,
That's racism. Like it's Israel.
Dude, he's going off. Who raped the girls? Who raped the girls? Yeah, why is she calling racism about, like, what is she talking about?
I'm Jewish? What are you talking about?
Guys, thank you.
It's
both.
Israel.
Thank you both. Cenk, important question. Batya, it's not Israel. I will talk to you guys.
Dude, Batya, it's not Israel. Cenk is like, it's Israel. No, they don't respect him. But, I mean, I get he went on that show. I mean, obviously, they had Batya there. So they knew what this was about, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why else would they bring Batya to talk about this with Cenk Uygur? I mean, think about the setup, dude. She's the only person that he can have that conversation with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is absolutely astroturfed, right? Like a Piers Morgan, where they bring some personalities together so she can yell at Cenk Uygur and Cenk Uygur can scream Israel and the host will be like, it's not Israel. And she's like, you're racist. And everybody watching it is like, God damn, dude, I'm watching my brain cells just disappear, dude. Like, holy shit, there they go. There they go. Dude, it is a circus. Oh my God, dude. I mean, dude, with him, watch him though. Who raped the girls? Who raped the girls? We got to watch this last bit. I don't think Cenk Uygur, I think Cenk Uygur, his new alter ego I think he got a little hurt by the Cenk Uygur. Dude, I don't know. I think he got a little wounded.
I know why Democrats are doing this. I think it's going to backfire.
Here we go.
You get the last word.
One more time.
I mean, everybody was saying, you know, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, oh, look, he bombed Iran. This is the end. The same characters, you know, the Tucker Carlson agreeing with the Cenk Uygur. Oh, he's going to lose all his support. It's all nonsense. These people do not understand the Trump voter. This is not going to matter at all.
Now that you name check Cenk, I got to give him the last 15 seconds. Go.
The more Batya talks, the more I think it's Israel.
Oh God! Oh God!
No, it's not. Oh God! Why is that a wrong theory? AIPAC controls Congress. Are you guys being lunatics?
Really lose control of the show.
Okay,
we're gonna. Okay, this is a different. Guys, this is a different segment. Different segment. We will have you back. Different segment. Different segment.
That's racism. Like, it's Israel because I'm Jewish. What are you talking about?
Guys, thank you.
It's Israel.
Thank you both. Cenk, important question. Batya, it's not Israel. I will talk to you guys both later. Thank you. A new poll shows Democrats favor.
Thank you for watching.
Dude, he's still yelling. How do you know it's not Israel? How can you? Why do you? Dude, he's still yelling. Oh my God, dude. He was yapping right up till the end, dude. Oh shit. Dude, well, you know though, Cenk is like him and Anna, particularly Cenk Uygur, right? Cenk Uygur and fucking 𝗙𝗪𝗏, both of them have this major Israel thing going on. Dude, they have a big fucking, right? They have a big Israel thing going on now. It's coming in like, you know what I'm saying? It is like coming in hot on all of their shit. Dude, that was pretty entertaining. It was, right? Dude, it was pretty entertaining. I feel like Cenk Uygur, she called him Cenk Uygur. It's hard, though, because between Cenk Uygur and that woman, I can't tell who I don't like more. You know what I'm saying? Like, both of them are pretty gnarly. And Israel and Epstein have been good business for Cenk and Anna. Yeah, no, it's a big, they're writing a serious, like, anti-Israel narrative. Yeah, I know, dude. They defunded NPR and PBS, but don't worry about it though, guys, because NPR and PBS, I think we'll just publicly fund them ourselves, right? I think the public will not let those two entities disappear, right? Yeah, all of those guys were fucking like terrible, man. Jesus criminy, bro. That piece of content was wild. All right. Sorry, I'm looking at some stats for a video. And now we're back. Max left, baby. All right, let's see what else we got here. Dude, Cenk Uygur, meltdown. Dude, I do want to, I think, look at this Joe Rogan thing. Right? So there is, yeah, we got one more Cenk and Anna clip. We got to do our dance party, and then we're going to hit one more Cenk and Anna clip about Joe Rogan. Okay, because now, again, we have a lot of these 28-minute opener on what? There's a lot of these, everybody is sort of getting in on this. This is obviously a big fucking, this is a big deal, man. This is a big deal. It's like, because what's crazy about it, guys, you know what's crazy about this is so much of like presidential people, they go in there and they make these promises. Okay, dude, disgruntled, you're welcome, boss. I'm here to help you guys get through this. All right, we're gonna dance, but I do wanna, we're gonna dance here in a minute, but I do want to say something about this, about like why in addition to the sex abuse, okay, which is hugely prevalent, hugely problematic, there's another element of this Epstein file situation, okay? And it's because of the availability of it being done, okay? Which meaning presidents come in and they make a bunch of campaign promises, and most of them are like lofty and entirely out of their control, right? Trump comes and says some crazy shit about, I'm gonna cut your energy bills in half. Okay, we know he's going to get called out at the end of the year. That's not going to happen. Fucking liar. But like the Epstein files releasing this information, it's doable. It's easily doable. This is one of those things where the only reason it's not going to happen is because he himself is going to disallow it, right? The buck stops with him. He doesn't need a vote of Congress. He doesn't need to hire a special prosecutor. He can literally just offload the information. So it's doable. He promised it, and he is now like handcuffed to it. And so that's what makes it a really interesting situation, right? Because if he sidesteps this and tries to make it go away, I guarantee it's going to be the infection that just starts the fucking detangling. All right, you guys ready? Let's get in here. I'm going to get the epidemic sound open. We're going to dance to a little deja vu, right? Terrific guy, he said. Epstein was a terrific guy. He loves Epstein. Dude, fuck Epstein, bro. All right, you ready? Let's go. Fucking get our fucking moves out. Everybody get limber. Oh. It's never going to happen. You don't think they're going to release him? Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see how it plays out. Because I think they're not going to be willing to release them. And they're going to release, you know, the credible information. They're going to dance around it. And I think it's going to fuck up their credibility. And I think in particular, right, there's there are a lot of people who made that, you know, like I said, I think it hits, guys, because even if MAGA believes he's not on the list, right? I'm telling you, I'm gonna say this again before we dance. I'm down here kneeling as I say this. If MAGA believes Trump is not on the list, okay? But then if Trump sidesteps it while they believe he's not on the list, then they're believing that Trump has now protected the Democrats, the deep state, all these other people. And so that is hugely problematic for him. That is more problematic than him being on the list, is them thinking that he's protecting the deep state. That means he's as bad as they are, right? That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think about it, guys. I think about it the way it was with street cred. Okay, you guys know about street cred? So back in the rock and roll days, in the 90s, I'm playing fucking rock bands, whatever. You're building your name around LA. Your street cred was very important. And if you lost your street cred, you were like dead. Okay, you could have the record labels hate you. You could even have some of the fucking venue owners hate you. You could have like business owners hate you. But if you lost your street cred, you were fucking done for. Okay, because that was the thing that made you have integrity. And believe it or not, Trump has positioned himself as this outsider who's draining the swamp, bringing down the deep state. So if they believe he's not on the list and they believe he is protecting the people on the list who are the deep state, Trump has lost his fucking street cred with MAGA. And he's fucking finished right there, bro. That shit is like unforgivable. You know what I mean? They may still show up, but that is a big, big gaping fucking wound. You know what I mean? It's a huge deal, man. I'm telling you, bro. Right? There's already clips of his voters calling him the deep state. What does it matter? What it matters is it matters with cratering. It matters with cratering approval polls, right? And then as his approval craters, people start not liking the other shit he's doing. And then public opinion swells against ICE and all those other things even more. And then that shit loses steam. And then he starts failing on campaign promises. And then the voters just get sort of dejected and they don't participate as much in the electoral process. They lose a bunch of seats in Congress next year. And then if they lose the House and the Senate next year, holy fucking shit, then he can get impeached and like a whole bunch of other shit can happen. But even if they lose the House, it means a whole bunch of investigations are going to happen and the Democrats will control the narrative and Trump will be on defense. Okay, and Trump doesn't do well when he's on defense. He's very bad on defense. You may have noticed when Trump is on defense, he fucks up. He makes a lot of mistakes. His whole agenda goes to shit. So that shit is important. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking important. Absolutely. Like, you know, because once he's on the defense, he's not effective. Okay? and how much it matters, we just want to make him as not effective. So what's happening, though, is you can tell they're scared, right? You can tell they're scared because they're trying to gerrymander Texas to pick up 5 new seats, but Gavin Newsom's going to gerrymander California and pick up like 10, right? And then I imagine other states will try to stack their maps. There's going to be a lot of like voting warfare between now and fucking 2028. I mean, it's going to get gnarly, guys. That's why right now we're going to dance, all right? We're going to dance, baby. But yeah, this is all important though, guys, because I know it sometimes feels like Trump is a shoo-in and he's just going to do whatever he wants and we're all fucking, right? We're all fucking thing. Yeah, but no, see, Beneko, you're being disingenuous there, okay? Because the Miami moving the election is toxic, but it's not about a moving election. That's about them trying to move an odd year election to an even year to juice voter turnout. And a lot of people do that. They just don't normally do it adding a year to their term. But like many places have moved their voting to even year things. So they're voting when the congressional elections are happening. So they have higher turnout, right? So that Miami thing is not what you think it is. It's something that's pretty common that a lot of places have done, but they should have done it in the last election, right? They should have done it when an election was up. They would call it the next year. It's just weird that they're trying to do it now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but again, that has nothing to do with fucking, right? That is, I feel like it's a different thing. But dude, all of this matters, guys, right? All of this matters. And if you're like a negative Nancy that's, oh, we're already fucked, you need to get that shit out of your head or you're not going to be effective. You're going to be a problem to the people that are actually fighting. You do have to find a place to be a part of the fight and be fighting smart and realizing how we can win this. And it's a long way from over, right? We have a lot of really fucking brilliant people that are fighting to keep this country from Donald Trump's fucking little shit. And he's wildly incompetent. So if there's anybody out there that wants to be a dictator that doesn't have the stones to do it, it's fucking Donald Trump. And he is going to get his ass beat. I fucking guarantee it. All right, you ready? Let's fucking dance.
notion that I will make it
Oh, shit. Ooh. You'll see how the pieces fit. Dude, yeah, there was a plan, but it's not being implemented well, boss. That's just it. There's a plan, but there's like a lot of moving parts, a lot of huge egos, hundreds of fucking lawsuits. He's already slowed down, even with his deportations. They've deported 100,000 people. It's like a massive failure, dude. Dude, they're bleeding money. Oh my God, dude. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. We have to take them very seriously and we have to fight, but like, they're so fucked up. They are, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, they're definitely winning some of the Supreme Court rulings, but most of the court cases they're losing, which is leading to crazy appeals process, all kinds of chaos. They're just bleeding resources. I mean, the downside is that the government's going to be like really fucked up at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? But they are fucking like operating so slow and just, and I mean, they're losing the fucking PR battle too. Like even with the deportations, you have the people on Twitter that are fucking talking about how we voted for this and all that. But a lot of people in the streets are not happy about like seeing a militarized police force. He finally pulled the fucking National Guard in California, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not, it's not working out well for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's weird. I feel like they got a little too cocky. Does anybody else get that feeling? Like, I feel like, I know they were talking about the mandate and shit, but it felt like they got a little cocky. But yeah, the Palantir thing is really kind of like, to me, that's a little worrisome. It is. That the Palantir thing, and just because, like, I don't know, I'm worried about what they're gonna do. I'm worried how they're gonna use that AI to try and like crack down on like poor people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're gonna try to audit poor people and shit. Like, one thing I noticed with you guys, you ready? I don't know if you had this experience, but so I used to get every other year, me and Bryce's mom would alternate claiming the kid. Okay. So we would get the tax credit, right? And with the income I had, the tax credit was always really good claiming the kid, and it would allow me to get the earned income credit. And so I would get a nice check back. But during Trump's term, it took me 2 years. The year that I had a good check, I got a whole other fucking tax refund, right? Before I got that fucking earned income credit tax refund check from Trump. They delayed it. They held on to it because I got the EIC with the child tax credit. They literally held it for like an extra 14 months, right? And I was like, dude, that's fucking bullshit. And I don't think I was alone. I think they did that to low income people who got that money just to like fucking fuck them around, right? And see, that's the shit that I worry about Palantir, is where they try to find ways of using your data to like come after you for that shit. It happened to your brother too? Yeah, dude, it was crazy, right? And they go after that because low income people get it. Yes. And that's what I think Palantir is going to do, is I think Palantir is going to try to target poor and minority people for IRS audits, for any type of anomalies they can find in the way they claim their tips or their wages. I feel like part of this no tax on tips is going to encourage people to claim their tips, and then they'll be able to look at the data for previous years to see if it looks like they haven't claimed tips, because that way they could then IRS audit like the poor And right? Because that's what they like to do. They like to go after the poor and the working class. So that shit I heavily worry about. And if so, they're going to find me because, dude, I was a bartender and I was not claiming any of that tips. So I'm on the record with that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no way I was claiming tips. Like, fuck you. I fucking worked for fucking 16 years with no time and a half on holidays, no fucking overtime pay, no fucking, right, insurance of any kind. Like, fuck you if I'm claiming fucking tips, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no debtor's prison in this country. So fuck off. But yeah, if you were a tipped worker, I say don't claim them. Just keep doing what you're doing. No anomalies. Yeah, no, that's just it. They tend to go after the little guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are debtor's prisons in Mississippi. Are there? You're going to have to look into that. That's technically not legal. But that doesn't mean Mississippi doesn't have them. But that is a problem, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, yeah, if you haven't, like that stream. Get that shit going. All right, let's see what we got next, dude. Oh, we're looking at the Joe Rogan thing. Yeah, so what's funny about it though, guys, is and I've said this before. So I worked in restaurants and bars that always did one thing. Okay? And what they did was it was a cash out till, which meant at the end of the day, you closed out, you add your tips to your credit cards, you close out all those tabs, and then you run a tab of the closed out tabs. Okay. And then they don't claim the tips. They just report totals, right? It's like total credit card sales. And so all the bars and restaurants I ever worked in did that, which protected the employees because then they weren't fucking keeping track of employee like tips versus, right? It was just sales, right? It was sales. That was it. And so they have always done that. You know what I'm saying? And right? And so we were always protected. But yeah, the Palantir data shit feels like problematic. Now, right now, though, that gerrymandering shit is really problematic, okay? You know what I'm saying? That gerrymandering stuff is you know, right? Like I saw it today. Let me see. I know Gavin Newsom, like I really am not liking him right now. Dude, I fucking can't stand Gavin Newsom right now. He just said some fucking anti-trans shit on that Sean Ryan show. And so I'm really fucking pissed off at the dude. But he did, though, today, like as much as I hate him, he's going to be instrumental in this, okay, because of this, right? He said, right here. He said, Trump said he's going to steal 5 congressional seats in Texas and gerrymander his way to 2026 win. See, this is how they know. We know they're fucked, guys. We know that they know they're fucked, okay? Because Texas is changing their maps mid-decade. They're having a 5-year map change to gerrymander and remove the voting power from some fucking seats, right? To remove Democrat seats to try and add congressional Republican seats in the state of Texas. And Newsom's like, well, you know what? We're going to fucking do the same thing. And I imagine other red states are going to do the same thing, right? Where it's like, oh, fuck, bro. That, and see, that's a sign, right? Yes, normally you do the maps after the census every 10 years, right? But they're doing it in the middle. But here's the thing, though, guys. And this is why I want you guys, when you get into that doomsday feeling, because I know there's a doomsday feeling, guys. We all feel it, especially if you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, those platforms, you'll get out there and you'll see there's nothing but MAGA just getting fucking stuffed down your throat like you're forced to eat human feces, okay? And the reality is, though, is a lot of times it feels like these guys have it in the bag. Like they've already cheated their way to like a win, right? But this kind of shit where Texas and Ohio are talking about gerrymandering, that's how you know. That's how you know that they don't have this grand like 2026. I mean, they're trying to fuck shit up. They're asking for voter rolls. Pam Bondi is asking for voter data from the states. They're trying to disenfranchise people. They're trying to pass voter IDs. You know what I'm saying? But they're now having to gerrymander new maps because they know they're going to fucking take a hit. So they are, if they really had it on a lock, they wouldn't be worried about this shit. They wouldn't be gerrymandering Texas and Ohio. That is a clear sign of how fragile they're doing whatever they can while they can because they're fucking struggling, you know? Yeah. Yeah, no, I know, but like right here though is what he said. Special sessions, special elections, ballot initiatives, new laws. And so that's just it, Gretchen, right? Is like, if they're going to do this, I think they're going to try to like form a special session and create a new law, right? I mean, I don't know how they'll do it, but where there's a will, there's a way, right? So we'll fucking see, right? We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't even know if Texas can do this by 2026. I think this is more about 2028. I don't know. I don't know if Texas can do it because I know there's going to be a legal challenge and it's going to sit in the courts. But I imagine right now every blue state is looking into this. Wisconsin's getting new maps, guys. Wisconsin, that was why that Supreme Court election was so important. Wisconsin's getting new maps like as we speak. Okay? So I think theirs are going to be done before 2026 too, right? But I think what would have to happen is with California, I think he would have to do a special session and they would have to actually have a special fucking law, right? They would have to have a special election with a ballot initiative, right? And so, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, dude. But both of them though, like they can fucking, you know, the conspiracy theorist, right? What is that? Is that this guy, this uncanny guy that's just shouting into the wind? Right? Is that what he's doing? Or what? Or who? Who's the guy talking about it? Right? Cry about truth because feelings. No, I mean, it's not even crying about like truth because feelings, right? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? You got the Roman Catholic shit. You know, you're just sort of shouting out, you're going to town about your Opus Dei stuff. Yeah. I mean, dude, just try not to get too deep into that shit, right? The crazy cabals. You know what I'm saying? Dude. Well, let's go. Pointing out facts. I mean, whatevs, dude. But you're just sort of talking to yourself, right? You know? You realize that? But anyway. Dude. Yeah, but so the thing about it is, though, is this, right? And I'll explain this to you. See, the thing about this, though, uncanny, you ready? Is like, this is my stream, right? So, yeah, I do that because I have created a stream where I created a thing about my viewpoint. And like, but like, you know what I don't do? Is I don't go into other streamers' chats and just talk about my political viewpoint while the whole chat there is like ignoring me. I mean, I would suggest, like, I think it's great if you have an Opus Dei fixation, this Roman Catholic thing, but like, so go start a stream or go into an environment where other people that are like Roman Catholicing and fill up on that shit. But where a whole bunch of people aren't even talking about that, to just sit there and scream it into the wind the whole time is like, it's you're not going to get your message out. You know what I'm saying? Because like the difference is like, if you want to be like me, go start your stream and go fucking stop that Roman Catholic shit. Right? I fucking say, yeah, man, go do it. Start a YouTube channel and make it your life's mission to put that shit out there and find your audience. But that's not here. Your audience isn't here, dude. I don't care about Opus Dei and the Roman Catholics and all that. They can go suck a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really concerned about that. Dude, I'm going to let AI fucking shred them. You know? Yeah, no. And like, I think you should make a space. I just don't really like the conspiracy theory vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I'll just tell you guys, in general, you may have noticed I avoid the conspiracy theory vibe. And you know why, guys? There's a really good point of why I do it. Okay? Here's why. Because when you get wrapped into conspiracy theories, you always end up at a place where you have no empowering ability to change it or stop it. Okay? Once you get into like the Opus Dei cult is back there pulling the strings, you're done, right? Like, and so for me, I like to look at what's going on, and I even look at the possible thinking of conspiracy theories, but I always maintain a center of like empowered action that's available to me, right? Because otherwise, yeah, you do get into that fucking rabbit hole and you start then looking for connections between shit that's not connected, and it just gets really weird. You know, I stay empowered and I stay focused on what appears to be reality, right? I don't really do the Wizard of Oz shit where they're meeting out in the woods and all the Roman Catholics are fucking controlling the whole world. You know, now I will say though, in general, and this isn't just Opus Dei, but it's all of the evangelical religions, all of the zealot religions, whether it's Islam, the fucking Mossad and the IDF, and right, and you know they're religion based, and the American government with all these evangelicals. Like, I don't like evangelical fucking extremist religion in general. All of that is really harmful. You know what I'm saying? But this idea though that there's a cabal like all working together, like, bro, you're hard pressed to find 20 people that can fucking work together, much less like globally, global cabals. All right. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this. Let's see what he says here.
I think there should be a national framework for independent redistricting, period, full stop. I mean, gerrymandering, and let's be fair, we've seen this weaponized by both parties for decades. But these guys, this is a whole nother level of weaponization coming from the right. And what Trump did today is the ultimate tell. They feel they're on the ropes. They feel they're behind. They feel they're vulnerable with the big, beautiful bill. They feel like the momentum is shifting away from them, and it's Speaker Jeffries, it's not Speaker Johnson. So on that basis, they got to rig the game. You got to change the game because you can't win by the existing rules. So he goes in and talks to these guys that should be focused on flood preparedness, should be focused on restoring NOAA and the weather
natural disaster
investments that they need to make, and the resiliency efforts to talk about getting FEMA back on track, and how little accountability with Kristi Noem and some of those early decisions that were made or not made. Instead, they're using that special session to weaponize for the next election, and that should scare the hell out of everybody, because these guys are playing by a different set of rules. And so from my perspective, if we're going to play fair in a world that is wholly unfair, we may have the higher moral ground, but the ground is shifting from underneath us. And I think we have to wake up to that reality. And I'm talking to members of my legislature, whatever our alternatives. We can do a special session. I can call for one today if I chose to. We can then put something on the ballot, and I could call a special election. We can change the Constitution with the consent of the voters, and I think we would win that. I think people understand what's at stake in California. I think we'd come out in record numbers. I think it would be extraordinary success. That's a clean way of doing it. It'd be a very short window, because you got to come back with the maps.
Yeah.
And you got to change all this and prepare for the ballots that are around the corner next year. Or you can look at other avenues, which we are exploring, which are pathways with the legislature to do urgency clauses with 2/3 of the legislature in both of our houses to move.
Yeah, dude, the anti-trans stuff is really fucking pissing me off, KB. I'm really not loving that shit at all.
Forward with legislative redistricting in between the constitutional construct.
See, this is what bothers me is why can he be so good on some shit and then so bad on this other shit, man? It's like so disappointing, dude.
Every census, the Independent Redistricting Commission does a new map, but it's silent about what happens in between. So it's a novel legal question, and it's being explored.
Yeah, so there you go. They're exploring the options, right? You know what I'm saying?
I think there should be a national
But
frame.
you ready, dude? Watch this, dude. You guys ready for something that's just fun and light and humorous? Dude, I know he's not perfect. But yeah, the thing is, though, is you don't have to be perfect to, like, defend civil rights. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because the thing is yeah, I know. But the problem, though, the problem with that thought of saying he's not anti-trans, it's more like trans issues aren't a big problem when fascism is on the line. See, I don't really buy that because for transgender people, they literally are, they're the only thing that matter to them. Like it is fascism to them. Like in Texas, where they're potentially going to charge trans people with identity fraud, that the people in Texas, all the trans people in Texas could end up in fucking prison if that law passes, simply for being trans. So the problem we have is I believe that the transgender issue is at the core of the fascism, right? Because if we don't stand up and defend the human rights, we allow them to then use transgender issues like what they call men and women's sports as a vehicle to get fascist people elected, right? And we have to take away that vehicle, right? We can't allow them to center transgender existence in a way that becomes a way for them to win elections because nobody in the Democratic side will talk about it. Because if we don't talk about it, they are going to beat us with that. They are going to turn trans issues into some horrific abuse of women, and they're going to use that fear to fucking get shitty religious people elected all over the country, right? And we have to fight that somehow. And you don't fight it by capitulating to it, you know? And you also, though, that doesn't mean you stand there and that's the only issue we're fighting for. But I believe that all fucking, yeah, but that's the problem, Gretchen, is we have to stop letting them beat us with it. And you don't do it by letting them continue to beat us with it, okay? They beat us with it because we didn't take a stand, you know? That's the truth, right? They beat us with it because we haven't taken a stand. And so we've allowed them to create a narrative. Like the phrase men and women's sports, it's not even a thing. That doesn't even exist. That is a bullshit fucking propaganda narrative. And you know what I'm saying? And fucking, you know, we need to stand up and take that fight, right? We do. We need to take that fight. But here, this is going to be some comedy for you, okay? This is going to be some comedy for you. But I tell you right now, if we don't talk about it, they are going to continue talking about it. And that's all they're going to talk about. And they're going to say that it's the only thing that matters to us as long as we don't fight them back. And it's only through fighting that we will be able to take that power away, right?
Eric Adams is damaged goods. Every day, a new case of corruption in the police department. They believe he's corrupt. Andrew Cuomo is a creep, slapping fannies and killing grannies. Everybody likes 𝗙𝗪𝗏. My favorable ratings are the highest in this election cycle. So,
Dude, this is the guy, right? This is the guy that is going to is taking on Zoran Mamdani. He's trying to get Cuomo and Eric Adams out of the race, right? Slapping fannies and killing grannies. Dude, this guy is like, he's kind of lovable in a way. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of lovable in a fucking way, but he has no chance at winning. And no, dude, he's not a joke. He's the actual Republican nominee. I mean, when he says everybody loves 𝗙𝗪𝗟, like nobody loves 𝗙𝗪𝗟. And this guy has no chance at winning. And that's why they're trying to get him to drop out, because they're hoping if he drops out, maybe they can fucking put enough money behind one of the scoundrels and maybe eke something out. But this guy, dude, there's no way this guy could ever win an election in New York, right? But he's so funny. So he is the Republican candidate for mayor in New York City. He'll be on the ballot, 𝗙𝗪𝗟 versus Zoran Mamdani and whoever else tries to run as an independent. But they kind of want him, to drop out, okay? Like Bill Ackman and these other billionaires in New York are scheming to get 𝗙cie to drop out. And then they're going to get Cuomo to step aside, and they're going to go all in on Adams as the pro-Trump guy and the guy who's going to prevent socialism, and they're going to try to do that shit. But 𝗙cie, I don't think 𝗙cie's dropping out, dude, but he's funny, though, isn't he? Dude, isn't that a great line, though? Slapping fannies and killing grannies.
Eric Adams is damaged goods. Every day, a new case of corruption in the police department. They believe he's corrupt. Andrew Cuomo is a creep, slapping fannies and killing grannies. Everybody likes 𝗙𝗪𝗟. My favorable ratings are the highest in this election cycle. So
Dude, he is a true believer, dude. I mean, this guy. So first off, this guy, he's not wrong. Okay, he's not wrong that Eric Adams is corrupt and damaged goods. Dude, Cuomo is a creep. Right? He's wrong about the everybody loves 𝗙𝗪𝗟, like nobody loves him. But I don't think this guy is a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a bad guy. He was a passionate guardian angel, dude. There was a time when he was like, really did good shit for New York. Okay? There really was. This guy his heart's in the right place, but he's also like, he's pretty shaky. I don't know if he's just nervous or if he's got a little shit like going on, but he can't win an election there. But I want him to stay in. Okay. I want him to stay in because I want Mamdani to definitely win. Right. But a great line though, dude. Dude, slapping fannies and killing grannies, dude.
Eric Adams is damaged goods. Every day, a new case of corruption in the police department. They believe he's corrupt. Andrew Cuomo is a creep, slapping fannies and killing grannies. Everybody likes 𝗙𝗪𝗟. My favorable ratings are the highest in this election cycle. So get Eric.
Dude, I mean, he's not that far off of fucking Hakeem Jeffries, right? Hakeem Jeffries is like, hi, my name is Hakeem Jeffries, and we are here to do the democratic thing of like saving the democracy, preventing Trump from doing anything that could damage the American spirit. Okay? We as Democrats believe that Donald Trump cannot be in America. No, democracy is a no-go. If Donald Trump were to win another election, he's going to really damage the people. Dude, that is totally fucking Hakeem Jeffries, bro. Oh my God, dude. You got to understand that democracy is very important, that we're going to, dude, double chop. Whoa. Dude, let's watch him, bro. Let's just get a Hakeem, dude. Let's get a vid, dude.
Donnie, why are you not endorsing the guy that won the Democratic primary in a contested election in your backyard?
Well, I look forward to sitting down and talking to him. I didn't get involved in that primary election, and I don't know him well. We had a very good conversation the day after the primary. We agreed to meet, and so I'm looking forward to having that discussion on Friday.
Dude, that was pretty chill. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Democrats didn't put the Jeffrey Epstein thing into the public domain. This was a conspiracy that Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and these MAGA extremists have been fanning the flames of for the last several years. And now the chickens are coming home to roost.
Dude.
The American people deserve to know the truth. What, if anything, is the Trump administration and the Department of Justice hiding? What are you hiding? If you're not hiding anything, prove that to the American people. And if you are trying to hide something...
Dude, it's so funny, bro. Dude, he's funny, man. Oh, shit, dude. It's hard. Right? It's fucking hard, man. You know? It is a hard. Do not call Jeffries a talking head. Yeah. Ban invisible accordions. I mean, dude, so what's crazy about it, though, is there is, like, you know, there is something to be said for, like, power hands when speaking, right? There is. I mean, it's important. I just think sometimes it gets a little bit exaggerated, like people get into a habit. But I mean, one thing I notice, though, is we all have tics, right? I have tics when I stream, like touching the earpiece, right? Pushing my earpiece in. There are, like, you develop tics when you speak a lot, you know? You know what I mean? It's like, it's fucking, it's just sort of happens. And then you try to work on that shit. You try to work on that shit, baby. You know? Dude, Jeffries takes money. Oh, he does. Yeah. I mean, dude, 𝗙cie is absolutely kind of a scumbag, right? I mean, dude, many of these guys are, right? You know what I'm saying? It's hard. I mean, it's hard, guys. Not everybody has the luxury of you know, what AOC and, like, Bernie Sanders have. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Is AOC and Bernie Sanders have they have fucking, you know, like, they're separated from the corporate machinery, okay? And they've come up in an age of, like, small donors. And now I feel like more people are getting into Congress with that. But a lot of the old school people that were elected like 20 years ago, that's not how you got elected. You know what I mean? Even 10 years ago. I feel like that really is a, like, 5 to 7 year thing. You know what I mean? It really is. I think it's a fucking, it's a relatively new thing that more people are like evolving. You know, and it's hard because obviously with Citizens United, it makes it, like, super complicated. Now, one thing I would like to see, and I feel like we could do this. You ready? Here's what I would like to see, guys. I think the best thing the Democrats could do to be revolutionary now would be to get super PACs out of the primaries. That would be it. Super PACs out of the primaries. I mean, we still need the super PACs and the billionaire donors to compete in the general elections, or we would get stomped, right? But until we get rid of Citizens United, let the super PACs contribute to the elections when we're running against Republicans, but get the super PACs out of the primaries. So that way AIPAC and fucking these corporate lobbies can't control who our candidate is. Okay, I feel like there'd be more robust turnout. The people's voices would be heard more. We'd be able to primary corporate people that aren't doing that good by grassroots movements. And we can do that. Ken Martin, the DNC, they can fucking do that. So I think we should all sort of press for that to get the super PACs out of the primaries. And if we do that, we'll be able to get some of these corporate, because right now what happens is oftentimes we don't have a choice. The only Democrat we can pick is the corporate person because they're the person winning the goddamn primary because there's a PAC coming in and they're spending millions on the fucking primary, which like any people's candidate can't compete with, right? And so that I think we should do. I think we do that and we would, it would be a new horizon for us. Like, guys, dude, we went over 300 viewers like a couple times tonight, guys. I'm real proud of us. Like, we're growing, guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. I've been streaming on YouTube now for like 2 weeks, and I think I've only like hidden from the channel like 3 people. Dude, we used to ban on Twitch. We had to ban like fucking 30 people a night. Like, we're really finding our fucking community, I think, slowly but surely here. That's crazy. And I don't really even like banning people, but when people come in and they leave 100 fucking comments about what we're not talking about, you sort of gotta zip that, you know? But yeah. But anyway, so I hope you guys, I see that Gretchen and Natalie are having some discussions about trans rights. I hope you guys will join the Discord and fucking continue that discussion, right? After the stream, because I know like it's really hard, right? Like fucking transgender people are like, hey man, my rights are not really something you could put on the back burner. And like, you know what I'm saying? Understandably so. The same way that like, you know, the people of color were when they were fighting for rights back in the 60s. So I think we have to find an effective way to defend trans rights that diffuses their fucking campaign of making it seem like this extremist shit. And I don't know how we do that yet. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I think an extended Discord, I'm going to put the Discord in there. It's in the description, but I think like Discord would be great. Like, I feel like you guys can fucking, you know, you guys can fucking, I don't know, illuminate shit for all of us, right? Because you know what's interesting about it? And here's one of the things. You ready? You ready, guys? Here's one of the things is here's what I've noticed, okay, is we have 3 main political environments in America, okay? We have, hold on, let me get the Discord thing. All right. Okay, so you ready? So here we go. So there's the Discord. There's the link for Discord. But you ready? So here's the problem we have, okay? We have 3 distinct areas in America, okay? We have a red area, okay? We have a blue area, and we have a purple area, okay? And there are states like Michigan is like a purple state, okay? California is blue. New York City is blue, right? Fucking, you know, Alabama is red, right? Now, the problem that we have is the hard thing is finding a national messaging that works in red, purple, and blue is like really difficult. Like, for example, Zoran Mamdani is probably going to be the mayor of New York, okay? He is running on fucking defending fucking transgender people. He is defending human rights. He is defending all religions. He is bringing some socialist, populist positions to the forefront, okay? But Zoran Mamdani could not go to the state of Missouri and win a fucking election. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no chance he would win an election in fucking, right? So then you have to figure out, how do we tailor our messages, right? Because we may have to have a different messaging for how we defend trans rights in the red area and the purple area than the blue area. But what I didn't like is I didn't like how we didn't have any messaging. Okay, so what happened in the 2024 election is we didn't have any messaging on trans rights except for Republicans saying all they think about is transgender people and they think about them more than you and it's harmful to your kids. And that's all we fucking had, right? And I was like, dude, that's not going to cut it. Because if we don't have any messaging at all, then they get to paint us as whatever they want to paint us as, and they get to build a narrative that way that will just profligate through their red religious fucking hate zones, and it will be everywhere. I mean, we were watching NFL games, and the they, them ones, me and my kid, and it was like, man, those commercials were so toxic, right? And the link in the Discord, yeah, it did. There it is. It showed up. It's right there, boss. Let's go. There's many of them, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing is what I want to do, though, is I want to see Democrats figure out a way to message about human rights that doesn't allow the right wing to control the narrative, right? Like we do have to be able to answer the question of what is a woman if they ask you that when you're running for office. And we do have to have some type of messaging about sports and transgender kids, because you know that they're going to automatically now in a political discussion, they're going to try to take every Democrat and paint them as somebody who's trying to cut the genitals off their children and is in some sort of weird fucking gender cult that doesn't even fucking exist, right? Like that's their starting point now because it works so well when Democrats don't speak up against it. You know what I mean? And so the thing about that is I don't have the answer to this yet. I don't. But I think it's important that we start figuring it out. And in a way where we can hear like people that are scared of transgender identity because they're religious and because they live in podunk and because they're whatever. They've been indoctrinated with all these religious beliefs about the gender binary, so the concept freaks them out. We need to be able to hear them from where they're at and still message to them that like they're safe and these people need to be safe as well, right? And what happened is in the last election cycle, Democrats just decided they weren't going to talk about this. And then that allowed the Republicans to say, that's all Democrats talk about. And even though Democrats didn't talk about it at all, and that's because we lost the narrative, okay? The narrative became their creation. And so we do need to have a narrative. And I don't know what it is. And that narrative may very well be different in purple, blue versus red. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. So, I mean, it can be, you could tie it into healthcare. You could tie it into personal freedom, right? It's like we do have to have some kind of fucking messaging. And I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to think of it. And guys, I would love to see discussions about this in the Discord because I'm thinking about possibly going and running for office in a red district of Wisconsin. And so I'm going to need all the help I can get on fucking messaging this, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And so like, it's hard. All right, let's watch this little Rogan bit and then I got to go make some videos. All right. 8 minutes of Joe Rogan Epstein. Again, you ready? So what's crazy about this is again, fucking all the influencers are starting to pile in here, right? Now, what is going to remain to be seen is going to be what kind of effect, okay? What kind of effect will this sort of disenchantment have? And well, you know what's funny, Worthy, is you're right. That like my edginess and my bluntness and my refusal to obey sort of high society decorum does give me the opportunity of being able to meet people where they are. And if I go back to that small town in Wisconsin, I am one of those people. I mean, man, you can take the fucking redneck out of the small town Wisconsin, but you can't take the redneck out of the man, right? Like I have a little bit of that, you know, that fucking, you know what I mean? I still have that small town redneck guy in me, right? I've just sort of evolved behind some of that shit, you know? You know what I mean? And so there is a possibility, but yeah, let's fucking check this out.
They got videotape, and all of a sudden they don't. You know, you have the director of the FBI on this show saying there's no. If there was, nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like what? Why did they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible? Why did they say that?
Joe Rogan has officially broken his silence on the Epstein cover-up. He did so on his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, and we should watch more of what he had to say.
Yeah, she said it literally, I think a week before you had the FBI director sitting here telling you there was nothing, right?
She said something about that there was like thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible crimes.
There is. And didn't the FBI dude say that there was nothing?
𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No, of course. I
obviously,
understand.
See, you see what he said there? What am I going to do? Am I going to push back? Right? Like, that's weird, isn't it? Somebody that has a platform of the size. And, oh, yeah, Les. I mean, absolutely. If I go back there, I'm going to have no money. And so I would hope that they would attack me for some of my more risque shit, which would give me some press. And then I would just go door to door, right? Absolutely. Like I would go door to door. I would have fish fries and like community events. I still have a whole bunch of family there too. So you get that family network pulling people in, and it becomes about hearing the voter, right? It's not so much, here's what I'm going to do for you. It's more like, what are you not getting done? And how can I help? Right? And it's a lot of like, you know, but the big thing I would hope to like, you know, get some of my more risque behavior under the press's fucking eye, so they would call me out on all the crazy shit I've done, which would amplify the size of my voice, right? You know, that would be good. But dude, this Rogan thing here is really alarming, guys, because this guy has one of the biggest platforms on the planet. And look at what he said there. He said, what am I going to do? Push back? You see that? Like he's literally saying, what am I going to do? Push back? Right?
Say that there was nothing?
𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No, of course. I
obviously,
understand.
He's saying what he has to say.
Right.
Mystery surrounds the Jeffrey Epstein files after Bondi claims tens of thousands of videos. Tens of thousands. Jesus Christ. The comment made to reporters at the White House days after a similar remark to a stranger with a hidden camera raised the stakes for President Donald Trump's administration to prove it has in its possession previously unseen compelling documents.
But obviously this was before the most recent discoveries, because he had 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 on before, you know, the video came out and all the fucking shit hit the fan, and they went back on the thing, right? Like when he interviewed 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, that was when Cash and Dan Bongino were going around saying, hey, look, it wasn't what we said about the conspiracy. He really did kill himself. They were sort of preemptively laying the groundwork for what was to come, which was this announcement that, hey, case closed. Sorry. Right? But I think the fact that Joe Rogan has the largest platform on the planet and he doesn't ever push back it's a real fucking issue, right? It's a real issue because he is not only is he not pushing back on the things that he's talking about, but he is actually creating a climate of like, this is how you do it, okay? Because everybody models the biggest, most successful platforms. So when the biggest, most successful platform just becomes a place where you can air out nothing but misinformation and nobody ever pushes back, you have created a climate where misinformation is accepted and it's just part of the thing, right? And so that is like what is super problematic about that thing. It's not even just about the issues. It's about setting the tone for discourse in the podcast community. Like, are we going to push back? Like, when you look at the way journalists used to be, guys, when I was a kid, the journalists were like ferocious, okay? The politicians needed to go on TV because that was their only method to get out there. And the journalists were like the gatekeepers that made them fucking, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to fucking push you in a corner. And now it's not like that. Now it's like the journalists are like, oh, I want to just make sure you'll come back on the show, right? It's like, it's turned. And I feel like Rogan has polluted the discourse sort of technique for the podcast fucking scene. And I wish he would rectify that and become more about, more about being responsible for the quality of information that is getting through and using this to debunk and tear down fake shit as opposed to just elevate everything, in order to hit that fucking cash register machine.
Just bomb Iran, and everybody forgets.
Just bomb Iran, yeah.
Everybody forgets about it.
So before I go to you, Cenk, I want to show the audience what they were referring to when they mentioned Kash Patel. By the way, Rogan's guest is Danny Jones. They're referring to something that FBI Director Kash Patel stated on Rogan's podcast just last month. So let's take a quick look at that.
There's been like 15 years of people coming in and creating fictions about this that doesn't exist.
See, we should add, I know I cut it off pretty early, but we should add here that Kash Patel is one of the leading fiction creators, okay? And this is really the crux of this, is Kash Patel was out there leading the fiction. Clintons, pedos, Pizzagate type shit. Okay, Kash Patel was, so was Dan Bongino. And so now Kash Patel's like, oh, there's been a whole lot of fiction out there. But it's like, homie, the only reason you're in the FBI and the only reason you have a following, the only reason you're rich is because of this shit. And so Joe Rogan should have said, well, Kash Patel, it's funny you would say that because you literally became a millionaire creating this narrative that you are now telling me the opposite of. And so that doesn't really sit well with anybody who's been listening to you, And that's...
Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed?
Okay, so look, there have been a lot of weird, shady things going on, Cenk. And I am not pleased with the fact that I wasn't here. I was taking a break when all of this went down, okay? I wanted to be here to witness and comment on the circus, so I'll do it now. First of all, let's not forget the fact that the Trump administration released a video purporting to show Epstein's jail cell or prison cell. See, no one could have gone in there, no one killed him, it was a suicide, okay. Except there was like a full minute missing from the video as Wired reporting
3
made
minutes.
abundantly clear. Why did you guys doctor the video? What's that about? Like, what is going on? It's so obviously, this is the sloppiest cover up in American history.
No, Anna, Pam Bondi says that every prison video has a minute missing.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that just standard operating procedure? We gotta delete a minute from the video?
Yeah, every prison video I've seen has had a minute missing magically. Okay, but I don't know if you saw the Wired story, then they realized, no, the whole thing's edited. Like the minute missing is actually less relevant than the fact that they said it was raw footage, and it was not at all raw footage. They edited it together.
Yeah.
It's just it's a circus.
This is a post on X from Wired. They write, metadata from the raw Epstein prison video shows approximately 2 minutes and 53 seconds were removed from one of 2 stitched together clips. The cut starts right at the missing minute.
So just to tell you what happened there is first off, the FBI did release a video that they said, oh, we enhanced it, we jacked up the compression, et cetera, et cetera. And then they released a video that said, this is the raw. So the raw is supposed to be just untouched. But what Wired discovered is that the raw was edited, and the enhanced was that edited raw that was then enhanced and had the contrast bumped up. Now, originally, we noticed just the 1 minute was missing. It goes from 12:58:58 or 11:58:58 right to 12 minutes. But what Wired discovered is the video that went to 11:58:58 went 3 minutes longer. It went all the way to 12:02, okay? So they cut 3 minutes off and then snipped another video that was a minute later. So they didn't even snip it at 11:58:59. They started it a minute later, but 3 minutes was cut off the original video. And you may have noticed there was a tiny aspect change, just the tiniest aspect change. So, which suggested that maybe it was even a recording from a different day, or like, we don't know. We don't know what that second piece is, right? And so but the fact that the raw was also edited was problematic. And they found that this thing was created over a period of like several hours and yada, 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 right? And amateur hour, absolutely. And no, I have not watched Dark Brandon. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, something is fucking like up with that shit, dude. And well, yeah, they use Premiere Pro, right?
They're such clowns. Come on, guys. Come on.
Do they think we're all like senators who don't understand how technology works? Like,
Ain't right. Like, no, well, I hear it's a series of tubes and you can't figure it out. So, look, even we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show too. But even Candace Owens literally said to the Trump team, "Do you think we're stupid? Do you think your entire base is full of?"
Dude, he loves talking about Candace Owens. Even Candace Owens said, you know what? I'm with TYT. Even Charlie Kirk said, I fondled Jinky's prostate.
Idiots, and they'll just believe whatever you say.
They do think that.
Well, I mean, so what's interesting is that establishment like libs, right?
Yeah, rad libs, yeah.
Rad libs.
Oh, here we go.
I think the base is stupid.
Here we go.
The rad libs and the Trump team agree about how stupid the MAGA base is.
Yes.
Dude, yeah, you notice how he's talking about Epstein, he's talking about the Trump team. Why did he have to bring the rad libs into it? There was no reason there, right? He cannot talk about Trump and Epstein, right? He can't. It's like Cenk Uygur will fucking shit his little fucking pants right there on the studio stage. He cannot talk about Trump. Dude, the rad libs have nothing to do with this fucking shit, bro. I don't even know who the fucking rad libs are. I mean, maybe that was a band from like Olympia, Washington or some shit. Like, what is Cenk Uygur talking about? You know what I'm saying? The rad libs? Like, bro, dude, homie needs to fucking pull his head out of the chicken's asshole. Seriously, what is he fucking talking about, bro? It's like, there you go, Cenk Uygur is on the rad libs case. Dude, it's like Encyclopedia Brown kind of shit going on. But again, he had to bring in the Democrats. Now, where's the Biden reference? When are we gonna hear Biden? You know Biden is fucking coming, dude.
Like, so they have both sides have enormous disdain
both
for the
sides.
Trump voters.
I got
both sides.
news for you, Cenk, okay? Politicians in general have deep disdain for the American people. I think that's pretty clear in the way that they operate.
And guys, to that point, real quick, so two things about Biden. People are going, I don't like it when you bring up Biden. Sad day for you, man. This is about,
told
we're talking
you!
about what is the American government, right?
I told
because
you!
Biden also had a strategy called Trust Biden.
Two things about Biden. Oh my God, bro. Right? Like, Dude, what the fuck? He went from Trump and the Epstein files and Rogan to the Rad Libs to 2 things about Biden. Like, what in the actual fuck is going on with these fucking clowns, bro?
And so that was for the bills, and they told progressives, don't, just like Kash Patel in that clip, do you not trust me? I'm saying that there are no tapes. Trust me, bro. And so that's what Biden did too. But that, and they then parlayed that into, now remember when Joe Biden.
Now he's gonna shout out Israel, right? That's the next thing that's coming.
Tells you that he's young and dynamic.
Oh, Biden,
and he's the
young
best
and dynamic
Democrat in the country to run against Trump. Trust me, bro. You're gonna have to trust me. And the Democratic voters in the beginning trusted him.
And dude, what does this have to do with Trump and Epstein and Joe Rogan? Like nothing,
so they saw
bro.
with their own eyes the debate. And now the Republican voters trusted Trump, but beyond the Republican voters, Joe Rogan and a lot of those guys trusted Trump.
Yes, yep.
But now this is kind of like the Biden debate, where they're seeing him melt down right in front of their eyes on the Epstein files.
Dude, I don't think Joe Rogan trusted Trump. I think Joe Rogan knows Trump is a despicable piece of shit. Joe Rogan even questioned him about the supposed proof he had about the election. Joe Rogan knows Trump is lying. Joe Rogan's just misogynist and a little bit racist and wasn't going to vote for a fucking black woman. Let's be honest about that. Joe Rogan didn't trust Trump. If anybody knows a goddamn con man, it's fucking Joe Rogan, dude. Homie, it knows a con. Trust me on this. All right, like what is he talking about? Dude, Cenk Uygur lives in this fantasy world that is like so, dude, it's like Cenk Uygur just crawled out of the woodwork and is like, oh, Joe Rogan, oh, he's so nice.
And insult their intelligence.
Yeah.
Like the Democrats were insulting Democratic voters' intelligence.
Exactly. I'm glad you added that last part because.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally brought this back to how fucking how terrible the Democrats are. And it's like, oh, I'm glad you brought up that last point. I mean, for a second here, I thought we were actually going to talk about Trump and the Epstein scandal, but really, we got to be talking about how terrible the fucking Democrats are. And Anna's next thing is going to be, and while I'm talking about Democrats, can I just tell you how badly I can't stand Gavin Newsom, even though I like rubbed one out to him like 20 minutes ago in the fucking green room?
Anyone in the audience who gets upset at any insulting conversation toward Biden, why are you loyal to a guy who thought you were stupid? Okay, why are you loyal to someone and why do you want to provide cover for someone who was so egotistical, so narcissistic that he decided to run for re-election, thus creating the very situation that we're in this at this very moment?
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, most of us have just realized the dude fucked up. We know he fucked us, but he's out of office. So now we've moved on to like the Epstein scandal. Remember that thing you were talking about like an hour ago when you started this fucking journey? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Okay, no, you should never be loyal to any politician. They're politicians. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, now back to Rogan.
Back to
look,
Rogan.
There was a theory that he was in a cult and he was MAGA and he was a fascist and he was all those things. And that so he was going to just bend the knee to Trump on everything. How's that theory working out for you? So look, people can make all sorts of excuses. They can move every goalpost in the world. Oh no, it's just about immigration. It's just about Abrego Garcia. It's just about mass deportations. It's just about 𝗙ście and Mahmoud Khalil being taken away. It's just about attacking Iran. It's just about Epstein files. Bro, what's left? Okay, and by the way, it's just about adding 3.3 trillion to the debt. So there were things that Trump has done that certainly his base was very happy with. There's things that Trump has done that Rogan and the other guys, I assume, were happy with, but we haven't seen any of those clips. But I assume it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure there is. But are they now saying what the F to like a half a dozen super important things he did? Yes, and you're seeing it with your own eyes.
Absolutely.
And guys, the reason why that's so important,
dude, I think some voters are definitely going to have issues with this. I don't think Rogan gives a fuck, right? I think Rogan's going to stew on this as long as popular opinion is making a big deal about it. And if the MAGA voters and everybody sweep it under the rug, Rogan will sweep it right under the rug. He's not going to make a crusade. He's going to fucking take that tax cut money, right? And then what's going to happen is he's going to fucking play the same game in 2028. And yeah, dude, Cenk is really, I think Cenk Uygur wants to be on Rogan fairly bad, don't you think? Don't you think he's like angling? He's trying to get in on there, trying to get on that show?
It's because those voters that listen to Rogan and 𝗙𝗹𝗏 and Tim Dillon and all those guys, and Andrew Schultz, who's now furious with Trump, right? They're there for the
dude, Andrew Schultz. I have some footage of Andrew Schultz. I got to make that video. He's now furious. Dude, but Andrew Schultz was like, he said he voted for Trump because he got pussy and fucking you could say whatever you want. He wanted his slurs and pussy. And now he's acting like Andrew Schultz is like so mad, so disappointed. I mean, that guy is a fucking scumbag, bro. He is a douche, right? He's just riding the fucking wave of everybody's mad at Trump. So now he's going to be like, oh my God, I'm so mad. Like, I'm going to hold Trump accountable because I'm going to fucking puff up. But dude, he is like fucking nah, man.
And I don't mean that in some nefarious
so
way if you're
phony.
right-wing, right? I'm just saying, if those guys are
Phony.
mad at Trump because they have at least a populist strand in them, anti-war, anti-corruption, etc. And Epstein files is corruption, right? So, and they certainly are furious about that corruption. Then give them a real alternative. Don't be fake and don't try to trick them, right? Just say, hey, look guys, you want populism? That's what we do on the populist left. That's what Bernie's been about the entire time, right?
They don't want populism. They are fucking mad at Trump because it's hot right now. Because his approval rating is in the tank. Because everybody's swelling up against him. And the wave right now is like anti-Trump. And that's why they fucking, right? That's why they're like
right?
that.
And so, and now with, at least with Rebellion PAC, we shed the culture war stuff. There's no
Rebellion
reason,
PAC.
like populistplank.com, those 6 things are supernova popular with everyone, left, right, and middle. So there is a real alternative out there. By the way, mainstream media never covers that. So why it connects to this conversation is when the Rogans of the world begin to turn as they are, take yes for an answer, go talk to them, and invite those voters to the right place where they actually belong. Not with establishment Democrats, not with establishment Republicans, and not with Trump.
Oh yeah, so where is that? If there's no establishment Democrats, no establishment Republicans, no Trump, then the only place left must be Cenk Uygur's place, right? You're supposed to take those voters over to Cenk Uygur's house and write a check to Rebellion PAC. Write it out to Cenk Uygur for fucking $49.99. Dude, look at him. Cenk Uygur. Oh my God, dude. All right. On that note, though, dude, I'm going to go make a video about Cenk Uygur. Dude, how did he go from Rogan and Epstein? Dude, that is an 8-minute and 40-second video, guys. Look at this. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. And literally, fucking, there's no mention of Biden here, but like half of that video, a full 4 minutes of that, was about Joe Biden. Like, what in the actual fuck, bro? Right? That is crazy. Yes, you're right. MAGA does not want populism. They want Christian fascism or Trump fascism, right? Dude, it was half of that video was Joe Biden, which had nothing to do with that. Biden's name should not have even come up in that video, bro. Like, what are we talking, guys? You ready? All right, let's get some fucking music playing. We're going to start it off with one of my songs from 2002, Radiant, from my 2-piece band, Number 3 Breakdown. I was wearing the shirt last night. It's a good tune. It's one of the fucking better ones. So it was a crowd favorite, but I'm going to get ready, edit mode.
I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around. I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure.
Let's go, baby.
Together,
take care of your head, people. We got a lot of fight. Anticipating. If you're not in the Discord, join it. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth, I know that you will understand. 'Cause I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant.
Hey, I just wanna change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better.
Dude, it's so funny listening to this old shit.
Together,
Everyone's waiting, anticipating. This was such a good band, actually. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth, I know that you will understand. Because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. I hope it never ends.
It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. Your radiant truth, I know that you will understand. Because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant.
Yeah, dude, this band was actually like quite a thing to see live. Like, the drummer was so good. And so we used to put on a crazy fucking stage show, right? Just a crazy fucking stage show. It was nuts. It was good shit. All right. Oh, man. And then I quit it. Like, I spent $7,000 recording our record. And in the middle of recording the record, I quit the band to make the album that ended up taking me on tour across the country. So sometimes you got this great thing that's just not working for you. You know what I mean? And then Let Go Afterglow, my solo record, it took me all over the U.S. as a one-man indie rock band.
Red, who's it all about?
All right. I, though, am going to go make some videos. All right? I fucking love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. We can talk then, baby. Keep it real.